my gosh.
How are you?
Super awake now.
Yeah, super. As soon as the mics go live or the lights go live, you're live, huh, Kev?
A lot of buttons, man. You know what I mean?
So many buttons.
Just don't immediately lie to me. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
I yelled Joey really loud and scared her.
Super loud.
And y'all missed it. It's like when I blew the Instagram video scaring you in Toronto.
But at least you saw it. You just didn't hear it. Right? Yeah.
Well, audio listeners have no idea what's happening. You know what I mean? That's how it goes around here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to your pre-show for the Kinda Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg. That's Joey. We're here hanging out. What's new, Joe?
Nothing. You guys just got back, and I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. I came back in the office today. I was like, shit, I feel like I have not been here in forever.
Yeah. You guys are just going at 100 miles a minute.
Tell me about your tattoo.
Oh.
That's the big question I got. Because this happened while I was gone.
Yeah.
I saw it briefly in person.
You were here for like a hot second,
So let me see it.
It's here.
It's flowers.
Yeah, it's a peony with some olive branches.
Okay.
And some fun like...
What's the story behind it?
I just really like her.
That's cool.
And
Wait, you like her?
The tattoo artist. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I've wanted a piece from her since like before I moved here because she's in Oakland, and then it took me like 2 years to get one with her because she's always super crazy.
Super booked, yeah.
So I got it.
It's awesome.
It's fun. I love it. Now it's in that like weird like now it's kind of peeling because that's what tattoos do. And it's
How much did it hurt?
Not as bad as the one on my foot.
Oh yeah.
So
when are you gonna
still
stop being
not
a coward and get a tattoo?
I think about it once in a while.
You don't have one either.
Yeah, you covered. You should get the Brock Lesnar thing on your chest since you're wrestling all the time.
Okay. My body's a temple, Joey. I just want you to know that. I never mistreated.
It could be a really pretty one.
It's true. I think about it. I see people with cool tattoos. I just hate my body so much that I just don't want to put anything else on it that I will obsess about.
Anything else?
What's that? Well, I've already got hair, and excess flab, and all that stuff.
You're gonna have to pick out clothes.
Clothes I don't mind. Clothes I don't mind. But I just feel like I'm so obsessive compulsive about things that like if the tattoo was just a little off, I would have to cut my arm off and start again.
Well, yeah, I had that conversation with you when it was wrapped.
Yeah.
And they wrapped it in this Sanoderm stuff to like let it heal but breathe, and it looked like one of the lines was like crooked of the dots, and I was like, I was like, it didn't look like this in the picture, and I think it's just because of the wrap, but if it's not, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Let me see the final.
It's not crooked.
Great. Yeah, it looks good.
It's just like peeling.
Well, they put like a template on there, right, and then tattoo over it. He doesn't do that by hand, right? Yeah.
You sexist.
She doesn't do that by hand.
Fucking welcome to 2019, huh?
I just
put your Mad Men era thoughts and ideals in a suit and throw them out.
Fair point.
Yeah.
I picked a random
so
pronoun.
you think about it, but you haven't pulled the trigger. You think about it.
Oh, in a passing way all the time too. There's been an idea kicked around behind the scenes lately that I think has more of a chance of happening, but still isn't like something I'm like, I gotta do.
What it is?
Well, no, because if you say yes or no, I can't tell you because I don't want to ruin it for the people watching.
It's going to be such a ludicrous guess, though. It's obviously a joke.
Sure.
Two-Face, but half Jen, half Greg.
It's perfect, actually. I like it. That replaces what I just feel like my moment's come and gone.
Yeah.
And not
you
to
haven't
mention,
thought about anything, or you haven't wanted anything for long enough.
When I put on the shirt and tie, I look somewhat respectable. But then if I roll it up and I got a tattoo on my arm,
you look cool with full sleeves.
People are gonna think you're really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
If you got so I'm gonna pitch this out on you, throw it on the table, see if you just lob it back at me.
Sure.
One arm, all Ghostbusters tattoos, like really well done, but like different artists doing them, full sleeve tattoo Ghostbusters.
Just 2016 Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, 100%. Just Melissa McCarthy's face, just all up and down your arm. Just do a full sleeve of Melissa McCarthy movies.
All over print of Melissa McCarthy.
Get a big shot of her from Bridesmaids where she's wearing all the khaki.
You can get the Gilmore Girls hair.
Yeah.
She was in Gilmore Girls?
Yeah, she's Suki.
Joey always throws that out at me. I'm like, I don't believe that.
No,
I just don't believe that.
Check out.
That's not something you can really challenge.
Yeah, but it's also
no one's gonna check.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking check. I got time.
It's like this. I was in the hotel in Florida, right? And I had the TV on while I was ironing a shirt or something. And the commercial, maybe I'm an A&E, TLC, I don't know. Commercial came on and it's like, after 9 seasons, Wahlburgers is going off the air.
What the heck is
that? And I was like, what the? And it's about the Wahlbergs. It's a reality show about the Wahlbergs.
About their burger place. They got a burger place called Wahlburgers.
That I knew, and I know the Wahlbergs. I did not know for 9 years there's been a show about them that I've never heard of.
Was it 9 years or 9 seasons?
9 seasons.
Because 9 seasons in reality television could be 3 years. It's so easy to shoot this shit that I guarantee they do more than 1 season in a year. Because what else? How hard do you?
It's like
hey, Mark,
I'm
coming over your house. That's all you gotta do.
Who watched The Big Bang Theory go away, huh?
Jesus, who cares?
The elevator worked, guys. Spoilers.
You know what?
I don't even know enough about that show.
Supposedly there were the two big the big controversy was that the entire time she didn't want kids, and then figured out that she wanted kids on the last episode.
I didn't pay attention to that. I just saw that the elevator worked.
Yeah. No, I don't. I shouldn't criticize The Big Bang because I like really stupid shows.
You do?
And I'm sure at some point I will start watching The Big Bang Theory and be like, why did I not know this show was amazing?
Where'd you come down on Everybody Loves Raymond? You ever watch that?
I watched it.
Raymond's so good.
It's funny. They were fine. They were fine multi-camera situational comedies, you know?
No, Raymond's funny.
I like Raymond Romano. Actually, I think I like Raymond
more than
now.
Frasier, which I know is controversial.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here,
Joey.
I know.
Rude.
Did Raymond play the fucking piano? Hey, baby. No,
he didn't.
Here's the deal. I actually like Ray Romano better now than I did when he was on Everyone Loves Raymond, because he's doing like indie movies now, and he's did like The Big Sick. He was the dad in that.
It's great.
I tried watching the one where the Duplass he did with the Duplass brother, Ray has cancer. It's on Netflix right now, and it was really depressing, but he was good in it. I forget what it's called, but it was weird. But he was good in it.
I watched a really weird movie on Netflix this weekend.
What did you watch?
It's called The Perfection.
Oh, I've heard
has
of this.
Allison Williams in it.
Was it good?
Who's Allison Williams?
She's
Brian
the girl in
Williams'
Get Out.
daughter. She was in Peter.
Oh,
Peter is fine with your thighs.
She's in Girls too.
Yeah, Girls is where I was going with it. Yeah.
It's weird, and the less you know about it, the better.
Okay. Should I watch it?
I don't know.
I like weird
I've
stuff.
been thinking about it since I watched it on Saturday, and I don't really know where I come down on it. It's a lot to. It's kind of like shoot. What's that one where the ghost is following her and you
It
have
Follows.
Yes, it's kind of like that where I was like, I don't really know what I just watched.
But it's not like a horror movie, is it?
It's horror thriller for
cool.
sure.
I mean, totally.
Do you know what I wanted to watch over the weekend, but couldn't pull the trigger on because it was $5, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. Under the Silver Lake.
Which one's that one?
I watched a review. It's Andrew Garfield and Riley Keough, and it's a
like
weird indie. I forget. I want to say it's from the guy that made It Follows, but I could be wrong. It's about a guy in LA who falls in love with this girl that he's just like on first sight, and then she disappears, and he goes on some weird ass like Twin Peaks twisted level shit to find out what happened
like
to her.
Underground Hollywood or something, right?
Underground Hollywood, like murders, weird. Like the when you read the description, even the description doesn't make any sense. That's how indie this movie is. But I watched a review of it, just thinking, oh, they're going to tear it apart, and they were split. And the person who liked it was like, I liked it because it's not weird for weird's sake. And I was like, maybe I should watch this. Maybe I like it.
I do remember seeing that pop around like last year.
You know what I started watching this weekend?
What did you start watching?
Binge watching Fleabag.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last week.
Everyone keeps talking about that.
Really good.
Really?
Yeah, I really,
it's just
really
2 seasons,
dig it.
right?
Yeah.
For now?
Yeah, I got like 4 seasons left, or 4 episodes left of season 2. Yeah. I was all over it.
I got my wife watched that. She liked it a lot. She pitched it to me, and I every time someone says Fleabag, I can see the picture of the woman on the cover of the poster with crying with the mascara running down. Yeah. And then I go, what's it about? And people tell me what it's about, and I go, I don't want to watch that.
See, I think
but I can't remember what it's about.
You gave a pitch. She's like a dirtbag. She's like, barely making it by, leeching off of people around her. It sounds like, but it's done in such an endearing way, because she breaks the fourth wall and talks to us all the time.
Yeah.
And gives us context on what she's doing and winks at us and all this different stuff, that you get really into her, and you can tell, I don't want to spoil anything, you can tell like there's something else going on here that's made her like this, like what is going on.
And interesting.
They peel that back.
That sounds really depressing.
I do want to watch that. It's on my list. I also want to rewatch Big Little Lies before that starts again.
Yeah.
I know. I'm in a weird spot because I'm on season 6 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which means I only have 18 episodes left, which will go in about half a night because they're so fast.
Yeah.
I really like where that show's gone, and now I need something else to watch afterward. No Game of Thrones left.
Did you watch the documentary on Sunday?
Which one? The Game of Thrones documentary? I don't really know. I'm good.
Cool.
Did you watch it?
No, fuck no.
No. I'm done with Game of Thrones.
Here's how we did the dragon. Caw-caw. I don't care.
Yeah, here's the thing about Game of Thrones. It ended. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we had a lot of really good seasons of Game of Thrones, and I think still it's one of the best television shows ever to be made. But I'm done. I'm good. It's like when I decided to put the pin in The Walking Dead. Done. Never going back to that. Never going back to that well.
Sure.
I'm done. So you tell me you want to do a documentary? I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Speaking of documentaries,
kind of harsh.
He's fair.
Kind of harsh.
Harsh but fair.
Like if
he's
you
a man of his word.
But if you really liked it, you wouldn't want to see like behind the curtain a little.
No,
don't care about that.
No, because
I really like video games. I've never watched a fucking No Clip documentary, and I never will.
Did you watch the Kratos one?
No, I still watch Raising Kratos.
A lot of people watch it.
I like it.
That was really good.
Oh, it looks awesome. It's just the commitment of it's 2 hours.
I played the game for 40 hours, bro. I'm good.
Exactly. I'm good. And trust me. And I also Corey Barlog.
I was speaking as Greg.
You know what I mean?
Greg played the game. He finished. I'm sure you platinumed God of War.
I did.
Yeah, so.
Favorite game all time.
I got to go back to that. I'm almost done with Rage 2. Almost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm now at the point where I'm like, I should go beat the game, and I'm just doing the side quests.
I know this will never happen.
Sure.
But what you need to play, and I think would really fucking dig, is Blood and Truth.
Okay.
It's a PlayStation VR game.
Okay.
So right there, I know I've lost you.
Okay.
But
I don't have a PlayStation VR. I have to borrow one from you or the office.
Sure. But it's like, it's a first person. Well, it's a obviously first person shooter, dual wielding. You have ammo on your chest. You have guns on your back. You have them on your sides. But it's like a spy thriller. It's like a Bond movie.
Oh, cool.
Of like the escalating. It's done by Sony London or the London studio over there.
But it's not like I expect you to die.
No, it's not like that. It's more of like you are James Bond or whatever.
That's cool.
In this, but you're not a secret agent. But you know what I mean. Same idea of like escalating mob storyline that keeps on going. It keeps getting crazier.
Musical chairs, Joey.
Bye, Joey. We love you.
Bye.
Well, you can sit down on that thing if you want.
I want to hear all about your trip, and I feel like I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, sure. Then you should just sit on the shock mic and be ready for that. Then I guess.
Shock it up.
Come on and shook it up. Shook it up.
Drew Box says I was disappointed in the lack of KF in the God of War documentary. I watched that on my flight back.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
How good
Were you
is it?
disappointed
It's
about
so
lack of
good.
us in it though?
I was surprised. Not
I complained
disappointed
about it. Oh, you better believe on the last KF podcast.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is there a lot of
Easy allies?
There's a lot of
all up in
everyone.
there.
There's
yeah.
a lot
Those
of clips, a
fucking
lot of
hacks.
swearing. There's a lot of stuff. I'm
hacks
like,
from
how
Easy
did we
Allies.
just not make the cut for this?
Sure.
Too much IGN. If
I
I'm
thought
being
Corey
honest.
liked us. I don't know. See.
Fucking bullshit.
Corey definitely likes me.
Oh, okay, good.
Not according to the video, dude. Doesn't even mention you once.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was implied. There was an inference.
Inspiration. I mean,
Harsh.
It was an inference. God, I felt like what? I really want to start watching Deadwood.
Yeah, every time they run the
Now-
trailer then for the movie, I'm like, I don't know
Can I
anything
ask
about
you?
this.
Can I guess why?
The trailer for the movie coming up.
Is it because Ian McShane's in John Wick and he's one of the leads in Deadwood and he's awesome?
Not really, but
Okay, well, fuck off.
like I see that the movies.
No.
I see that the movie is coming out. That HBO on May 30th are releasing like the movie. I think like 10 years after the series ended, 8 years maybe.
Uh-huh.
and
People like
I
Deadwood a lot.
I know that like it's highly regarded. A lot of people really enjoy that show.
People like it a lot.
Was
It looks
Deadwood
cool.
the show
a
that was
Western.
on UPN?
No.
This is an HBO really fucked up. They swear
Western
to say the word
show.
fuck every other word.
Now I want to know what show you're thinking of on UPN.
You're thinking of, yes, I know exactly what you're
Shasta
talking about.
McNasty.
No. No, it's not One Tree Hill. Like it was a show like that, right? Where it was like
It was around that, but like I think even before One Tree Hill.
Underwood.
Kevin.
Everwood?
Everwood is what you're thinking.
I am thinking
That
of
does make
Everwood.
sense, yeah.
I am.
Everwood? Baby Chris Pratt.
Very distinct, very
No shit.
distinctively
Yeah,
different
that's the
shows.
first thing he ever did.
Joey, can you move the mic so it's there you go. There, you got it.
What else did I watch? I feel like I watched a lot of shit over the weekend, but maybe I didn't.
We did. Well, you and I saw
Maybe
John
I
Wick
did.
together.
We saw John Wick.
I was about to watch Isn't It Romantic, but Joey's words just were rattling around in my brain, which is like, don't rent it. It's not worth the rental.
I watched
Really?
Happy Death Day to You.
Oh, what'd you think?
Liked it. Really,
Yeah, it's good.
Is it
really.
on?
Amazon.
Oh shit!
Really inventive way to do that
you
sequel.
rent
Yeah, I
it?
loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go. I gotta watch both those. Those
You
are
do?
great. I need to sit and
Honestly,
just watch them both.
do them back to back.
Yeah, I
because
think
I
I want
watched
to.
it and then I watched the next day. I think, but it was great.
It's a good
Yeah,
combo.
they just look
'cause
fun.
It's very fun.
Very fun.
Very stupid. But
Yeah,
like,
I
good
know that's
stupid.
perfect for me.
Yeah.
You know me.
You
fun,
will
stupid
love them.
fun is fun for me.
Oh, I
Self-aware.
had to
Follow.
unreserve the seat for Godzilla because I realized that I didn't have a seat for Spider-Man. Like
wow.
the Spider-Man stuff was
No, I
way
think we're
earlier.
good.
What are you talking about? No, Spider-Man I bought like
Greg bought
9.
tickets for
Oh,
Spider-Man.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, but still, all right.
Cool. Okay, good to know. I was very worried about that because I was like,
So-
oh, this was pre us getting Movie Pass.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
was what the straw that broke the camel's back, I think, on it, right? Where we were like, I ordered 9, and there was a conversation how many more do we need and whatever. We're just like, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Got to be a better way. There has to be a better way.
Yeah, the God of War doc is so good. You
But
haven't
we're not
watched
in
yet?
it. Huh? We're not in it. So why would I? And I don't mind not being in it, but then you're like, they're putting hacks like Easy Allies and IGN in it.
All over.
Yeah.
GameSpot in
Too.
it?
Whole bunch
Yeah.
of random other YouTubers
Baird
too.
What were
stumbled
they
in-
doing?
Baird
What were
was
they
like,
doing?
"Oh, I
Reacting.
produced that,
To what? The trailer?
To all of it.
Fuck outta
The
here.
trailer reveal to the trailer reveal, spoiler casts.
Yeah.
They could have had us anywhere in it, really.
Yeah, honestly, like there's footage of people everywhere in this thing. It's weird.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit, huh? Not even. Oof, man,
Oh,
I
is
tell you
Rocket
what.
Man coming out this weekend too? Shit.
Do you want to see it Thursday after
Ooh, come watch with
Godzilla?
us.
I'm not going to see Godzilla on
Oh,
Thursday.
then
I have
never mind.
zero
Invitation.
Man,
revoked.
I don't think.
inclination to see Godzilla.
I don't know. There's like few movie trailers I watch where I'm like, there's not even a world where I could be excited for this. Godzilla's one of them. Where I look at him, it's like, what is happening in this? Who cares?
It's gonna be 2 hours
cool,
of
big, dumb
kaiju
color
beating the shit out of
monsters.
each
Same
other,
reason I
and
never
that'll
saw
be it.
Pacific Rim.
No, it won't.
You know what I mean?
It'll be 20 minutes of kaiju beating the shit
You
out
think
of each
so?
other and an hour and 40 minutes of humans.
Yeah.
No, there's way too many. There's way too many monsters.
I
You
hope-
gotta get into a
I
fight,
hope-
man.
all
Hey, I'm
monsters.
seeing it Thursday.
There's one line in that movie
Smash
that
Bros,
turns
everybody's
me off
here.
completely.
My
'cause the-
God.
Zilla.
Fucking shut
come
up.
on.
What a bad line.
Bad. Why would you put that
Mothra
in the
looks so
fucking
pretty.
thing? That trailer with that weird
Over the Rainbow.
over the rainbow version is so fucking haunting and beautiful, and then it goes, my God, Zilla. I got you, bro. It's like, all right, I'm out.
Fucking movie looks like trash.
Even if fucking what's your butt from Stranger Things is in it, I'm done.
11.
I don't think the movie looks like trash. I think that is probably the worst line ever delivered in a trailer ever in history.
It's like I don't understand how the director, all the producers, and the people responsible for releasing that movie watched that trailer and were like, that line's gotta stay in. That's gotta stay in. Everything else is so beautiful and almost like it's almost like a fucking orchestral ballet of like the things coming up and we're just seeing these colors and wonderful
Mothra
things.
looks so dope.
Mothra
So
looks dope. The
pretty.
3-headed thing looks dope. I don't know what the hell that thing's called. And then we get to the dad from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and he's like, Zilla. It's just bad.
IGN
Guy
gave
from,
Godzilla.
what was he?
7.8
Which Sadler movie was he in? Billy Madison.
Yeah, he's Bill Matt. I mean, he's West Wing too.
Yeah, West Wing.
Come on, man.
That's
Everwood.
awesome.
Everwood. Yeah, there you go.
IGN
Kevin,
gave
let's do
Godzilla
it.
7.8. Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Bing.
That's
bong,
off. Just a heads up. That is off by 4 minutes.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Go ahead whenever
bing.
you're ready.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your best friends, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer Nick Scarpino.
What is shaking, Greg?
It's this sweatshirt, and it's not new. I know I've seen it before, right?
It just screams the word raglan.
Excuse me?
I've never heard that before in my life.
Really?
What's
You've never heard
raglan?
Raglan? Raglan is a style T-shirt, like
Yeah.
a long sleeve. Normally the baseball shirts are raglan. I know that's
Yeah.
not the baseball style
No, this is a
tee,
crew neck.
but it just sound like I look at that and I just think raglan.
I think
All right.
sweatshirts like that are on the raglan section. of
Yeah,
merch.
they're definitely in that
Here's the
area.
I think you're
I'm
both
immediately
wrong.
cutting in here.
What's
I've
up?
never fucking heard Raglan before.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a
heard of
story
everything.
about you, Andy Goddamn Cortez.
Hispanic heartthrob. Hispanic heartthrob, Andy
No,
Cortez.
dude,
that I have been wanting to tell for about a month now.
Yeah, give it
but
to
like
me.
we've been around.
I
Like
mean it.
it's been a whole thing where there hasn't been a podcast. I was able to do this.
Do it.
We're going to see a movie. I think it was Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, it was.
We're all at the theater. We're all hanging out, getting food, doing this whole thing. Andy, he's like. He does the Nick thing where like you can all imagine this and he'd be like, I'm going crazy. Getting my big Diet Coke. I'm getting whatever
Mini Snickers.
whatever the fuck you want it to be the other day, right? But he's just
Usually
going,
I prefer the
he's
mini
going
Twix,
through-
by the way, but the fucking Metron has been slacking with the restocking of the candy. I just want to say that.
And
going
the
through his
Cokes.
laundry list or whatever the hell he's gonna
Well, no,
get.
I mentioned that like, man, you know, I didn't eat a lot today. I've been preparing for
Yeah,
this.
smart.
I'm
That's
gonna
why
go
you stay
fucking
skinny, puppy.
ham right
Is
now.
this
you
John
know?
Wick? What movie is this?
Detective Pikachu. He's like, I'm going fucking hard. Like, I'm going crazy. Right? What do you get? He's like, I'm gonna get a pickle.
With my
Yeah.
popcorn.
Yeah.
And we all start.
And me and Tim look at each other like, where is he going to get a
what
pickle
are you
from?
fucking talking
And Amy's like,
about?
pickles, man. They
He's
got
like,
pickles in
"No,
theaters. I was
I'm
like,
gonna-
no.
I'm gonna get a pickle. Like it's a theater. You're telling me this theater doesn't have pickles, and we're all like, "What? The
Why would the
fuck
theater
are
have
you talking
pickles?
about?"
You
He's
weren't
like,
even there. You weren't even there.
You've told this story
It was
before.
cool, Greg. No, I told you how shocked I was.
Yeah, and
by all
I
of
reacted
this.
the way I'm
Yeah.
reacting right now for the audience, which
damn
is
it, Nick, I hate
the
you so
most
much.
ridiculous thing ever.
my story that I'm telling. You tell this recounting of it. All right, whatever.
Here. You know what I mean? We're all having fun. And I'm like, hey, Captain Semantic, can you get over here and give him a
weren't
chicken?
there.
You weren't. You
there,
told
Nick.
the story already,
No, I
Andy.
haven't. Not
Yes,
on
you
this
have,
show.
because I know it. If
Not
I
on
wasn't
this
there, how the
show.
fuck would I know
Because he might have
it?
told you it.
It's absurd that you wanted a pickle. That's all we need to do. Why do you give a fuck if I was there or not, Tim?
Because it's his thing.
It's me telling a story, Nick.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over there, and you tell me when I can come back and comment on this stuff.
Get a DC,
Fair,
big dog.
fair.
Get a big DC.
Jesus Christ.
As someone I heard the story like through Slack, I think that was awesome. I was like, and Nick was like, in my head, it's question marks all around.
So we
his
go-
face, Tim's talking to
We go on BuzzFeed and we realize that there's articles written that are like, hey, apparently people in Texas get pickles at movie theaters.
Yeah, that was
And
the
there
big
this
shocking
whole
thing.
like shock that it's like you have just been played your entire life. You
Well,
and your
no.
little
So
state.
it's not just me. And
It's all of Texas.
I loved Cool Greg reacting to it. Cool Greg was like,
Nah, bro.
He was like, bro, I saw the way they reacted to you, and like, I've been there, bro. Like, when I've been there. Like, I've taught. Like the look that they had in their eyes. Like, I've seen them look at me that way when I mention shit, and like, I felt you right there, bro. But it's true because like, in Texas, you just like people would even sneak in pickles. Like back home, there was this girl. I'm not gonna name her name, but she would always fucking sneak in
Where'd she hide
pickles
it?
in her purse,
Okay.
and like would always bust it out. And we always made this joke that like, you know, she would always like, oh, can I have some pickles? She would like, and it's like, I fucking keep it, dog. Like I don't want it, you know. Anyway, but people would sneak in pickles and eat pickles at theaters, and
Even though they
sell them there, yeah.
Okay.
And
Now
but it's
here's
the
my
big
question.
deal
That's
type.
the bad-
Here's my
bamboozle.
question. Yeah, this is where I get into my questions. As a man who loves a good pickle,
Yeah.
well known, well documented. Is it like I'm going to the deli and there's the giant plastic bin of pickles with the white top you screw off and somebody's picking one out with a fork, hopefully, or tongs or something?
Yeah, it's tongs,
Hopefully.
and they put them in a little like paper
wax paper
sack.
sleeve. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, the brand is like there's a little girl in
Mouth's
the logo.
watering. My mouth is watering.
Mouth's
Thinking
starting to
about a
water,
giant
yeah.
fucking dill pickle at a movie theater.
Kevin, can you look up? I think it's like Dixie or Dixie. There's a brand of pickle. It's in a giant clear tub.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you get but guys, like if you've never experienced the combination of a pickle and popcorn, it's sublime.
That sounds good.
It's really good,
you got the
dude.
salt of the popcorn
and
and then the
then,
brine of the
it's
pickle. That
like-
sour
The what?
And
brine.
And sometimes people, what they do, sometimes they like carve out like a little scoop in the pickle and
Whoa,
put
what
popcorn
the
in there
fuck
and you
is
eat it all
this?
together.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
I've never heard
dude.
of that either. That's awesome.
A Dixie. Oh, Dixie. It's called Dixie. Oh, that's a pickle dilly. Yeah, that's
Oh, that's a pickle.
no
dilly.
Piccadillys are like all the Rospas you see on top. Google Dixie. I believe it's called Dixie.
Are you seeing this monstrosity?
That's awesome.
I am.
Show
Show
it.
people.
Hold on, give me
That's
We're at
really
the Texas Ranger Stadium, and it looks like they hollow out a pickle. They put a hot dog in it, and then they make a corn dog out of
But
it.
so the
horrifying.
thing is, I feel like
Dilly
I'm
dog.
fucking crazy. Del
there's that
Dixie.
tub.
There she is, a little girl. Yeah. So that's how they look. Yeah. And even my dad will buy pickles when we like watch movies at home. He's
Sure.
like, you know,
pickle
you
time.
put on this movie, get do some popcorn or whatever. And so the first thing I do is Google like Texas pickles movie theaters.
Yeah.
And like the first two articles are like, apparently people in Texas eat pickles with their at the movie theaters. And I'm like, fuck, I am the crazy one. But then I put out the tweet. I tweet out that I'm like just shocked by this news. And I get several replies from people like, no, they have pickles in my theater over here. I'm in Massachusetts. We have pickles here. I'm in wherever we
They're
have.
lying to like.
No,
get your
they're not,
attention,
Kevin.
dude.
They're not. What?
No, it's an interesting dilemma, is all it is.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I wonder. They must be going in Massachusetts. They're going to like the small theater, I would assume, right? AMC is a chain, right? Regal Cinema. They're not having fucking pickles out there in a giant jar. That's too much work.
It's a Cinemark thing back home. I don't know if I've seen pickles at because there's a Carmike theater. I don't know who owns Carmike, but Carmike has Stimulus Tuesdays for really
Okay.
cheap. Yeah, and so I don't know if Cinemark. I only know of Cinemark having the pickles. I
Only
don't know if
Cinemark.
AMC has them. Yeah.
Well, Cinemark, that helps. That starts narrowing it down. Because are there Cinemarks even around here?
yes,
Yeah,
the
Century
Daily
20.
City one.
But do they sell? They don't sell pickles.
Oh, I don't
We've
know.
never seen a pickle
I
there,
don't
right?
know.
Kevin, you'd know, right? If they,
Yeah, totally, 100%.
If they'd have a pickle there at Daly City, you'd know.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, they don't have a pickle there.
But then I saw like the replies like Louis Medina from Let's Play was like, "Fucking get pickles out of my movie theaters. What the fuck's wrong with you?" I was like, "No."
He recently moved to Texas he's from New York.
So he's
lived
now
in LA forever.
experiencing
Now
it.
he's like, whoa, there's pickles here.
Yeah, dude. And so it just threw me for a loop.
Here's the thing, I'm not against it. I would love to try a pickle in
Yeah.
a movie theater.
But when
I'm saying we
Tim,
sneak
it
them
ain't
in.
right.
But
It
the
ain't
funniest
right, Tim.
thing was though, like nobody knew who was punking each other. Like I mentioned,
It felt when he brought it up, we're all like, "You
He's
are
fucking with us.
they gave me a
fucking
look, and
with
you're
us."
like, "You're fucking crazy," and I was like, "Wait, you're fucking crazy." Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's no pickles here? And then it hit me like, oh my god. I've never seen a pickle here. Like it was one of those like a movie moment. Like holy shit! Like Bruce Willis has been dead the whole time.
See,
Sort of thing.
I dig the fact that they're in the giant jar.
Yeah.
Because have you ever had the pickle that comes in its own individual package sleeve?
No.
It's not as good.
Oh, you mean in this little plastic?
Yeah, it's like, I want a pickle, and you got a deli even, and they'll give you one
like
in a bag.
salami, kind of. Where
No,
they're
no,
in those things where
they're-
you have to peel it back.
Yeah, they're like in a Ziploc
exactly.
bag or whatever.
Yeah.
But they had those at WrestleMania, I think, and Royal Rumble.
Oh, did they?
I'm pretty sure.
There's a pickle store at your house?
We've told the stories, but pickles have just been a recurring thing in our lives.
Of course.
But anyways,
Delicious.
yeah, that's that.
Pickle juice.
I was just shocked by this, and I was very stunned to find out how
Betrayed by
alone
your
I
new
was.
home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, now next time I'm in Texas, I want to go to the theater and get a pickle.
But what you got to do, Greg? You do popcorn at home?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did last night.
All right. So
Watched Chernobyl.
I
Nothing
got
like a blockbuster Chernobyl episode. Eat some popcorn.
I gotta say, man, like get yourself a pickle at a store. Like,
I got a jar of pickles in them. Clausen, I'm
okay.
all set. I'm good.
Yeah, you got, dude. The combination is really good, and I just can't imagine that nobody. It's like going somewhere and being like, oh yeah, like cheese and chips, like nachos, and people being like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like those things are so synonymous to me. Like
Sure.
popcorn and pickles are such a brother sister combination.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Hot.
All right,
I don't
cool.
know.
Nick, come on back.
Yeah.
We got more movie theater stories. I know you have some too, because this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4 best friends gather around this table, each coming to talk about their lives and pickles. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindoffunny. You can give us your questions, comments, concerns, be a part of the show. Take care of us. Get everything early. Get everything ad-free. Get everything days in advance, weeks in advance, months in advance. Physical covers, of course, right now. If you gave us $1, you could go over and get the entire next season of nicknames, the entire next season of Oreo Oration.
I'm still gonna make
months
thumbnails for that.
before it goes up on youtube.com/kindoffunny. Of course, like I said, you get this show, the Kind of Funny podcast, early, ad-free, pre and post shows included. You can watch us record it live like so many people are now. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. You can get the show each and every Friday on youtube.com/kindoffunny, podcast services, and roosterteeth.com. However, no pre-show, no post-show, and you got to sit through ads. So suck it up, buttercup. Thank you to Patreon producers, Bert Meg. That's right. Mark
back.
Starvagi,
Met him in New
Kieran
York.
O'Donnell. I remember that too, and I think then he complimented me on doing the name right, and then
Yeah,
today
right.
it's just not happening. Kieran O'Donnell, DJ Kento, and Sam Davis. Today, we're brought to you by Upstart and Green Chef, but I'll tell you more about that later. For now,
I'm excited to learn about Green Chef.
Huh? You okay? Did you go over there? Do you want to tell your side of the story now?
No, I don't have a side of the story. I wasn't there. But I wanted to say I was listening to all 15 minutes of the riveting pickle conversation, and it was
don't
good.
hate,
Who
don't
was the
hate.
editor at IGN that had that pickle in the bag for the longest time?
I want to say that
say
I
it was-
thought the guides team had it. I thought so. It would have been
Was the
like
guides
Mark
team?
Ryan's Sally.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Was it? It might have been Nick's.
And that thing was disgusting.
Yeah, they had one in there, and I remember I got
It just
punctured
went
at some
bad.
point or something.
And then it started going bad from the inside out.
Yeah,
it was
you
not
don't want
good.
a bad bagged pickle going bad. Over
was
there,
not
you know what I
good.
mean? Not how you want to live your life.
It's true.
Tim,
Yes.
I think the one thing I've heard everybody say to you today is you're not as sunburned as they thought you'd be.
I can't believe it. I don't know how that happened.
You spent a week in Florida with me.
I did.
We did Full Sail. We
Yes.
went down there. We did the Hall of Fame stuff.
Did it all.
Then you stayed late. You went to Disney World with one James
DW. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
3 days there, start to finish.
How much you walk?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't track the stuff, but like a lot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we were
It
there
was 400 steps.
8 a.m. till midnight every day. So it's a long time.
Jesus
Pretty much
fucking
nonstop
Christ.
walking. We did it all. But do you want to start with the theater stories though?
Yeah,
The
sure.
business?
Lay it on.
Like Nick,
You
you
like
had your
had a
theater
really
story.
disgusting
Well, yeah.
theater story.
Barrett fucked me. I'm just gonna say that. We're gonna start off with Barrett
No, we fucked us, dude.
fucking us. Okay, we had a plan to go see John Wick 3,
Thank you.
Parabellum.
Turn off
on
the mic. I don't
Saturday.
wanna hear this fucker.
On Saturday.
But
And
he's
I
wearing
go,
such a good shirt from
and
Kind of Funny
Barrett
Podcast
goes,
Show.
"Hey, I got a buddy in town. I can't see it." But Barrett did the right thing. He stayed checked in for the ticket so that he could have the free
stayed
seat.
checked in because I know Nick always has like problems with people sitting next to him, so
Right.
I wanted to make sure, hey, if I keep this ticket like in check, no one will sit here.
Right.
And so as far as I knew, this was going to be the
So
perfect plan.
you were
a
helping
gift,
him out.
A
You
gift to
did
my buddy Nick.
the right thing, but what you failed to account
He's
for
halfway there.
was the lawlessness of the Metreon. There is no one checking anything, and there was not one, not two, but 3 homeless people in our theater that were just theater hopping the entire time because I guess that's better than staying outside. We get in there, me and Andy are there. I look down and there's a guy in my seat. I said, "Excuse me, sir, I think you're in my seat." He immediately starts giving me shit. Like
He just looked at you for like 30
He
seconds.
just stared at me, and I was like,
Wait, so you saw
"You're
this?
in?" Oh
Yes.
yeah, Andy was
Jesus.
there. I'm like, "Sir, you're in my seat." And the guy looked at the seat next to me and goes, "Ugh," and just gets up and sits down next to me. I sit down next to him, and the first thing that hits me is the smell. There's a smell factor that is just, and I'm like, so I'm like, don't complain, just relax. It's John Wick. Who cares? I'm like, I have like soap on my hands. I'm like smelling my hand, just trying to keep it away. And then it gets to a certain point, like right after the previous, I was like, I leaned over to Andy. I gotta go.
I come back after peeing. Yeah.
I was
sit
like,
down
this
and he was
guy
like,
is.
I'm peacing out.
I gotta go. I'm like, this guy's sitting in the seat. I don't want to call theater management and have some fucking 16-year-old kid come over and tell this guy he can't sit here. There's plenty of seats in the theater. I'm just gonna go pick another seat. Then I became the thing that I hate.
Oh no.
Because I sat in someone else's seat. They came 10 minutes after the movie started and were like, hey, you're in our seat. And I'm like, we're 10 minutes into the movie. Fine. Me and this other homeless person got up and left. Because it turns out she was also in their seat. I was like, what? Are you guys just plants in this theater?
They weren't even,
oh my God.
They weren't even homeless people. They were just like you, Nick.
Oh,
they were just all moving around.
No, but I mean, like this person had bags and stuff. There was a whole rigmarole. So finally, I was just like, screw it. I just want to watch this movie. I went and sat in like the front row, and ended up just eating my bites. But then what happens is I was like, oh, at least Andy's enjoying this movie. At least it's fine. The entire time, by the way, I'm hearing somebody in the theater laugh hysterically at points in John Wick 3 that are not humorous. There's a point in the movie, it's a little bit of a, not really a spoiler, but there's a point where they go to this like Russian ballet house, and you see this beautiful ballerina on stage, but it's like this kind of fucked up image because she's tatted up and bleeding because she's been dancing for so long, and that's like one of the assassins, like that's their specific clan. And the second we see her, it's dead silent in the theater.
And the couple next to me is like, at the start of the movie, this is going on nonstop. During quiet parts, during cool parts, during parts where you should kind of laugh. Like, you know, during there's a really crazy knife fight that while I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm kind of talking to myself, but it's fucking loud. Who cares, right? But even during the quietest of parts, where a line of dialogue is just said and it's a very serious moment. And the woman like next to me leans towards her boyfriend and is like, why is he laughing? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. And that happens the whole movie where I just hear them react to him laughing. And at the end of the movie, I got up and I was like, "That's a real fucking funny movie, right, guys?" And they're like, "Oh my God, are you kidding?" It was so annoying.
It's one of those things to the point where I am now thinking, like, legitimately, if it's a movie that I really want to see, if I don't have to see it for work, I'm going to Alamo, because they literally walk over and go, "Let me see your tickets," and that Metreon needs to start doing that, because if you remember in Endgame, there's a guy that came and was like, "Hey, is that seat taken?" I'm like, "Every seat's taken, bro." Like. They're reserved seats. So if you're asking, is that seat taken? You did not buy a movie. You didn't buy a ticket to this theater. And you are going to be the guy that sits there and annoys the shit out of me because you have zero respect for anyone, because you just thought, I'm going to walk into this theater right now and just pick a random fucking seat. It is annoying.
I made the right choice in not going to see this movie.
Had you gone, you would have taken that chair.
The problem.
And the guy would not. I would
no,
have been like, God, you
because then he would have sat next to me.
No, there was no one else. It was literally two seats. There's 3 seats open. Me and Andy filled 2 of them, and your cute little Heine would have been in that third one.
Way to go, Barrett.
And it just almost ruined the movie for now. Speaking volumes, how good John Wick 3 was, I still enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We had the same experience that you had with Aladdin yesterday, where there was just one guy that was just laughing and clapping at everything. And it's like, what are you doing? Yeah. No one else is having this. I get it if it's Avengers and it's opening night, or even if it's fucking a weekend and people are like clapping at the like hype moments. But this is fucking Aladdin, bro.
I don't know. It's a weird thing where I feel like if everybody would have been like, I feel like everybody would have been on it, I would have been much more cool with it. But the fact that one person was singled out.
But it's also not that kind of. I mean, like, there were moments in John Wick where the crowd audibly was like, whoa, fuck. Like, they were fun. It's such a fun movie, but this guy was just not there. There's
a great moment where, like, I think him doing it was kind of ruining the movie for me.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Where there's a moment where John Wick is gonna get revenge, and he's like, well, what sort of resources do I have at my disposal? And they're like, oh, whatever you want, go in there. And they're like, what do you need? He goes, guns. A lot of guns. And it's a moment where, like, in my heart, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go, dog. And then I hear this guy go, hey, And I'm like, oh, you ruined that for me. Like this moment is less cool because of you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah, it was.
And we were close to like kicking him out. I was close.
Should
to
have been an adult. Either one. He got up and gone and told somebody, or yelled at him.
And luckily, I wasn't sitting right next to him because you left, so that seat was left empty. But I was getting a bit of the whiff. Like I was getting a bit of the smell, kind of wafting towards me. But if I had a pickle, I would have smelled pickle the whole time.
That's fair.
Yeah, that solved everything.
Yeah.
You would have been the guy.
This guy's a smelly ass pickle.
Damn, man.
Brought a pickle in your
It fucking I don't know. Again, I don't think it didn't ruin the movie experience for me completely, but there were moments that I would have loved a lot more had this gentleman not been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought like I did think about going over and getting someone, but then I was like, it's just gonna annoy because the guy wasn't there. You know, like I don't mean like sitting there. I mean like he wasn't all there up top.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I just was like, I don't. Is it? Should I just? If he's only bothering me, should I just get up and go move?
Really bothered the entire place.
Well, I didn't realize that was going to be the case.
Also,
You could have been here.
I'm sorry, I just walked in, but quick question is, why didn't you guys tell him initially, like, oh, hey, my friend's coming late? Like, that's his seat.
Because I didn't know that Barrett. I didn't know that was Barrett's seat. It didn't occur to me till afterward that was supposed to be where Barrett sat. Because I was like, it's like after the movie, I was like, wait, were we the only ones in the theater? Because now we're booking tickets and everyone's sitting all over the place. And you were like, no, Barrett was supposed to be here. And I was like, Barrett. Like, he fucked us.
Gotcha.
He could have been in that. And by the way, they were the perfect seats. They were like, it wasn't Dolby, but they were like smack dab in the middle of the theater. I like to be right in the middle.
Oh yeah, and
and it was the three, and we could have been just like, oh, that's so cool. It was so cool.
But instead, popcorn and pickles back and forth.
Yeah, we got the guy from fucking Thriller.
That's what it reminded me. That's exactly what it reminded me of, dude.
It was
such
bad.
bullshit, dude.
It was so bad.
And then we get the craziest parking attendant.
No, before that, like this is how pathetic I was in this movie because I don't like seeing movies by myself. Like I like to have someone next to me that I could share the thing with. And so I sat next to this other guy, and I was like, "Hey, that was great, huh?" And he just was like, "I'm
Stop
not
talking
like,
to me.
Don't be the crazy person sitting next to me, guy." I'm like passing down. Yeah, and then we go to pull out of the Metreon, and none of the ticketing things are working.
Oh no!
And this guy comes out of nowhere and is like, "Did you put it in right?" And I'm like, yeah, man, I put it in right.
He was like an NPC that hadn't loaded yet.
Yeah.
Like suddenly he was just there.
But he was standing really close to my car and really close to my window. And I'm like, okay, I'll put it in again. It didn't work. And then, by the way, there's how there's 3 lanes of people trying to get out. Everyone was having the problem. But this guy's saying, like, I didn't put the thing in right. I'm like, no, sir, I think your ticketing booth is, like, the ticket stands are fucked up. And the guy's like, they're not, man. You're just not putting them in right. And then finally he radios into someone. The guy gets back to him and all 3 of the lanes open. But I'm like, hey, could you do me, like, I was looking in my rearview mirror and I saw his ass was about a half an inch away from my fender. And I'm like, hey, can you step back from my car? I don't want to hit you. And the guy's like, you'll make it, man. You're fine. And I look at Andy and Andy's like, just go. And he's like, just hit him. Who cares? I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but there's a moment where he was like, put the ticket in. Went in, error. Comes back out. Nick pulls it out. He's like, yeah. I was like, you got to leave it in there so I can see what the error says, sir. And it's like, oh, I just wanted to fucking run this guy over.
It was bad. It was bad.
Into you.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where I drove away. I'm like, I'm very proud of myself for keeping my cool in all these situations.
And then you also mentioned, man, all this shitty stuff. And all I came away with that night thing was like, John Wick is awesome.
Fucking awesome.
Man, that's a testament to the movie.
Seriously, dude.
There's one scene specifically in John Wick, and anyone it's like maybe like 25 minutes into the movie, where that is just such a fun, clever moment. And like, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. You just got to see it. There's lots of really cool things they do that very much feel. Someone said it felt like Metal Gear, and it's. Yeah. I think that's close with some of the characterizations, but they have so much fun with this action genre.
The lore is so goofy, like it's so over the top. None of this is realistic, but it's awesome. Like it's an action movie, kind of set in a weird fantasy world that
it's
like,
cool.
Not fantasy with like elves or anything like that, but like
it's like they've built this like weird world and now they're playing it.
They have their own rules.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's really cool. It's very much. It reminds you a lot of Kill Bill.
Yes.
Like these weird factions of
it's
groups
exactly
that
like
like would never exist in the real world.
Except take out all the talkie parts and put in parts where people just throw knives at each other for like an hour.
Knife goes into an eyeball.
Yes. Fucking horrible.
Jesus Christ.
God.
It's so
Too
good.
much eyeball stuff happening in movies lately.
Oh, this one. Wait for
There's
this
a
one.
nail part in this movie.
No, thanks.
A whole nail just gets ripped off.
I saw Brightburn last night. I was
can't
not
do
expecting
nails.
the gore or
Yep,
like
the
as
gore was-
intense as that was.
Kevin,
It
you
was
saw
very
Brightburn,
intense.
right?
I did.
Brightburn, right?
Brightburn, yeah.
You and Joe saw it together,
Me and
right?
Joey.
Yeah.
Tim?
I had a similar experience of I'm shocked that I still enjoyed Aladdin as much as I did, given the experience I had 5 minutes before seeing Aladdin.
no.
But
it wasn't in the theater.
No.
Okay.
I was on the train on the way to the theater. I've lived in San Francisco 30 years of my life. And I've seen some tussles. I've seen some fights. I've seen some shit. I ain't never seen some shit like this. Get on the train.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Very fucking hell. I am one stop away from getting off downtown to walk the 1.5 blocks to get to the theater. And I have my earphones in. I'm listening to a little T Swift. It's just kind of
Hell yeah.
bopping off, right?
Is Me?
And
Listen to Me?
I was listening to Me.
Nice.
Yes.
Great
and
jam.
not a great jam. I'm trying to have it win me over. I'm fine with the verses, the chorus. It's I say just bad, outright bad.
No.
What are your thoughts on
No.
this?
I've never heard this
The
song.
new Taylor Swift song?
Never heard it.
With the Panic at the Disco singer?
Oh, yeah. I think it's whatever. I didn't love it. Yeah, I didn't love it.
Love the verses.
Music video's cool.
Anyways, this song's blasting in my ears. I'm just trying to like have a good time. It's a very uplifting, positive song, right? Meanwhile, I see this white dude get on the train, and SF train's pretty narrow. There's like seats. Everyone's really scrunched
This
together.
is an old Muni or a new Muni?
I don't remember. I don't know. One of the trains.
If you were new,
Were you looking straight at? Yeah, it doesn't
cool.
matter.
I don't know, but I was like in the thing
where
where someone was sitting next to me and I was against the window, so I
never taken
couldn't
the
get
train a
out.
day in my life.
If I tried.
that's an old train.
So this white dude gets on the train, face tats everywhere, skinhead looking dude, right?
Could you take him?
No, I can take very few people in my life.
Could you take Andy?
Debatably.
Yeah.
Andy's one of the debatable ones in this office.
Sure.
But I see this guy get on with a pit bull.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, fucking San Francisco liberals. Like, this is like, we're fine to just, I guess you can bring a goddamn pit bull on this train. That's totally safe and cool for everybody's just comfort, right? Yeah. But I see this happen, and he gets on at Castro Station, which has some implications. There's usually a lot of clientele getting on the train around that stop that are gay.
Yeah.
And that's San Francisco.
Yeah.
So this guy gets on and say, all right, cool, he's there with the pit bull. They walk on, and then they hit this black dude. The white guy, 45, black dude, almost 60, right?
Okay.
Looks very cracked out of his mind. Seems like he's not there.
Great.
Immediately, there's gonna be some issues. This pit bull kind of hits the black dude in the leg as it's walking by. Not like anything crazy, just like a little
Like
brush.
the tail or?
Like just kind of like walking and just kind of like bumps into him. The black dude loses his shit.
The pit bull turns around like, what's up, huh?
and starts yelling at the other guy, and just like it turns really crazy really fast to them just yelling back and forth. And I'm listening to Taylor Swift, like still just like, great, this is what Muni is, this is what trains are, whatever.
true.
But then I noticed that everyone starts reacting a lot more intensely than I was, so I pause it and I start hearing what's being said, and it's a lot of slurs, a lot of back and forth, the bad F word, lots of shit. And I'm like, ooh, this is not a good place to be. Everyone starts putting their legs up because they're worried about this dog.
Not such a liberal guy
Right.
then, huh?
well, there was a lot of shit. But anyway, like everyone's like freaking out, and I'm like, holy shit, like this sucks. I hope this doesn't turn into like a goddamn war, because we're all going to be casualties of this. To the pit bull's credit, not on the offense at all, totally on the defense. Went straight back to its master and was kind of just like, don't fuck with me, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just trying.
Wish number 3.
Dog starts barking though. And it's just like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, it's getting riled up. And it was so scary. Like, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. Like, it hit a point that I'm like, this is it. Like, someone's going to get fucked up.
That sounds really dangerous, because you're in an enclosed space with two people who are going to fight and a dog that may or may not
Take it easy,
start biting people. And I don't mean that because I know that pit bulls have that unfair stigma of being like overly crazy, but like a dog any dog that's big in a confined space with his master being in trouble, that's going to be a dangerous
Portillo
situation.
fuck you up. Doesn't
Exactly.
even have to be a big dog.
And I feel like he's way bigger than he is.
I feel like you're worried about like a magic car, like it's gonna turn into a Gyarados. Holy shit! Like, oh my God.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
dude. So the girl next to me,
perfect.
like, ducks her head down into the seat and puts her hands over her head and like curls up into a ball. And I was like, whoa, holy shit. Like, she's really fucking scared.
That's not a good thing to do.
Burst into tears and is just like freaking the fuck out for her safety. She's right next to the dude that was yelling at the guy with the dog.
Oh, Gio wasn't with you.
No, it's
Okay.
just me. And like, dude,
was
real
changing
talk,
names to protect that
Like,
against
if I
him.
was the girl, the guy was this close to me.
Oh, God.
They were screaming, and I'm right next to her. And then the guy pulls out a fucking box cutter.
Oh, that's not good.
And I'm like, we now have this crazy guy with the box cutter and this crazy guy with a pit bull. Everyone's yelling horrible things to each other. And I'm
I'll
just
still
like,
take the pit bull in
this is
that
the way
fight.
this all fucking ends.
Oh, totally.
I'll take that pit bull in that fight, 100%.
I was so scared though, because the pit bull, they're backed against the wall.
Yeah,
of the train.
no, that's
so it's
not
like
a
we
good
were
thing.
in a very, very small enclosed space here, and I was like, this is fucking horrible. Train's moving, so there's nothing we can do.
Can't jump off, yeah.
Everyone's yelling, everyone's going crazy. Hella people are jumping over seats to get away from this, and I'm just like, and this girl next to me is just like down. The guy starts swinging this box cutter.
Oh my god.
You're kidding me.
And I was like, holy fuck. I was freaking out. It was straight up fight or flight. And I grabbed the girl next to me and I pull her close to me because she would have straight up been cut. Like, that was how close. And he's just like flailing this thing around. She didn't even realize he had a box cutter out.
Wait,
she put
who
her
has
head
box
down.
cutter again?
The black
Dog guy?
dude.
Black guy, okay.
dude. Yeah. So it's box cutter versus
Dog.
Pickle.
Yeah, wow.
Right. And so I pull this girl. She's bawling. And the moment he moves forward a bit, I grab her. I'm like, run. And she runs off. I get up. I fucking run after. We stop. We get off at the station. The black dude comes at the guy with the box cutter, just flailing this thing around. They run, or the guy with the dog runs off of the train. So at that point, I'm like, all right, we're safe.
Time to see Aladdin.
Exactly. Time to see Aladdin.
Problem solved.
All's well that ends well.
I start walking to the escalator, and I'm shaking, man. Like I was like, I've never been in a situation that tense and like that close, and with that much just like fucking macho energy and testosterone and pit bulls. And as we're walking, the dude with the box cutter is still on the train. He like goes away. I don't fucking know. The white guy with the pit bull, pissed and just so riled up in the subway station, starts just yelling the most horrible things, the bad F word, the N word. Like every combination that like I was like, I've never heard a human being speak this way. Like it was vile, it was bad, it was angry. Meanwhile, group of black dudes starts walking down the stairs.
No.
Oh my god.
Hear him, they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he just starts yelling at them.
That's a bad move.
They just fucking get on this guy, just start beating the living fuck out of him.
Jesus Christ.
The dog just starts running around, and that was the moment I'm like, I'm gone. Like, I just fucking left. Like, I got on the escalator. I don't know how that ended. I don't know, whatever. But it was like, that all just kept getting ratcheted up to the point that I'm like, the dog is now off a leash. Like, I'm out.
We have a pit bull running around.
Seriously,
Powell
man.
Station.
Powell fucking Station.
Oh, that's not good at
It was
all.
insane. And then, yeah, I ran into Greg, like, literally 3 minutes later.
Don't they have one
And
of
I
those?
could tell he was shaking, but he still had 2 hot dogs. And so I was like, all right, Jen, you talk to
That's how
him.
you
I'm
come
going
down.
to
That's how
go
you
get the
come down
water.
from that situation. You got 2 hot dogs. in
I
there.
didn't have food that day.
The second that you mentioned,
We weren't shaming your hot
I rode
dogs.
the train to go.
Proud of you.
I was about to ask, like, how do you ride one of them trains? Because just out of interest, but now I'm good.
Again, 30 years.
Did it
never
not
have that
Did it not
experience.
have a safety thing that you pull on the chain like the buses have?
That
No.
fucking
Those aren't
bullshit.
safety.
You
Those
pull the
chains
chain to
to
say you
want the
need to
next
stop. There's an emergency button to call the conductor. I've told this story, I think, before on the podcast. That time
Yeah.
I saw the dude get in a fight with the other dude on the thing and throw his sandwich across the way. And like the dude tried to call 911 in the tunnel. And he's like, we're in a fucking tunnel. There's not going to get a signal out. I was like, he's going to fucking kill this guy.
And we were in a tunnel.
They had
too.
hit the button. And then there was
space,
like
no one can hear you scream.
3 stops later, the conductor's like, oh, what's going on back there? We're like, there's a guy about to get murdered, but everybody got off the train. It's fine now. Just take us to work, please.
Yeah, he might still be on the train, but good luck with that one, sir. Bye.
It was fucking crazy though, and it just goes to show like this dude, I would have never thought had a box cutter on him.
No, that's why you don't. That's why
You know?
don't fuck with people.
Yeah,
you did the right
don't
thing.
fuck
You,
with
you
people,
left
man.
the train. Trying to take
Yeah,
someone down
yeah,
with a
exactly.
very sharp knife is a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
that's a bad idea. But like if you can't de-escalate a situation like that, you got to get the fuck out of there. That's just what you got to do. So smart man.
Yeah,
You
but
got off.
man, like that whole thing was so fucking scary, and it's just, I just don't trust any situation there. Don't bring your goddamn pit bull on it.
I think-
you know?
I think
Yeah, I don't
there's-
even bring Porty on the train.
I think that there's just like, I think that this city is so dense and there's so many people and we're all just on top of each other that they're just little powder kegs waiting to go off in these types of situations. Like that on top of there's a gigantic mental health problem in San Francisco. Like I'm surprised shit like that doesn't happen more often.
It does.
Because I see I see people when I'm walking down the street. Like I saw a guy outside of my Starbucks. Some dude ran a stop sign and a homeless man came out of fucking nowhere and started yelling at him for how he was like, that's really irresponsible. And I'm like, I hate to agree with the guy that's yelling at you right now that lives in the streets, but you are really, like, why did you run that stop sign? And I'm like, why am I in this situation at all? Why am I fucking riled up by this? It was nuts.
Oh man.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
I mean, you say I guess it's surprising it doesn't happen more, is what you said. I think it's surprising that we don't run into it more. That's the bigger thing. It happens all the time.
Sure.
Jen's obsessed with this stupid Citizens app. So, guys, did you get her on this? It started in our group of your fucking group of murderinos who want to know all about true crime. Fucking, well, guess what? There's been a stabbing 3 blocks away.
The Citizen shit's everywhere, though. I guess Citizen is just, it's for the people looking for the shit.
Sure.
Like, they look at it, they think it's fun every time we travel and go to different cities to look at the crazy shit going on.
Oh, I didn't know it was everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere. Well, I don't know about
got it.
everywhere, but it's...
Crowdsourcing crime.
Gia travels and looks at it everywhere. I'm just
Wow.
like, you're a little monster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Disgusts me.
Yeah, because it's.
I wonder who... Oh, my God. I bet if you look... I don't know if... Yeah, try to find Pickle and Box Cutter Man.
I hope
3
someone-
o'clock, 3:15.
I hope someone reported the guy and he got arrested because you can't come at people with a box cutter.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah,
No.
that's assault with a deadly weapon. You can go to jail for a very long time for that.
Yeah.
You can't just if he'd actually hit someone with that, that would be bad.
Yeah, I
That's
had to
very
run through a
bad.
bunch of scenarios in my head where I was like, worst case, if I had to take one of these guys on, who do I pick?
Oh, you take the
and
box
I
cutter, dude.
just realized I'm dead. I was like, I guess this is it.
No, you take your
Put
jacket
T-Swift
off,
back on.
you wrap your jacket around your hand, and you come at him like,
You have like
'cause
a-
either way, either the dog's gonna bite you or the box
Yeah.
cutter's gonna get that jacket.
Head
And you
first
just
in,
get the girl,
and
you
use
get
her
the
as a
fuck out of it.
shield.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just put her around like a mink coat, just like put her
Yeah.
around your neck like a fox, and just start swinging her.
How big was Box
Her
Cutter?
limbs.
The box cutter guy, I mean, I don't know, maybe Nick's size. And the other guy was like probably your height, but
Oh,
shit.
skinny.
That's
like
not
really
good.
skinny. Not that you're not, but like, you know what I
no.
mean?
Still though,
I am
that's
not.
the one thing that I've learned in the past like 2.5 years of training jujitsu is that if someone knows what they're doing and they're smaller than you, they're still gonna fuck you up.
That-
So like I look at people, I'm like, oh, I think
It's not a
anyone can
size
fuck
issue
me
that
up.
way. I was just wondering for it. Because like the only thing I would think in that
Well, they have
situation,
a
you're
box
in a
cutter,
terrible
too.
situation, obviously, pinned in against
Yeah,
somebody you don't
yeah.
want to get involved,
It's easy. You
right?
kick the box cutter out.
Sure.
Come
Well, I
on,
mean,
like, take the
the
shoe
only
off.
way I would
Spin
think
kick.
about it is like it's like the videos you see on the subway or on Reddit from the subway, right? Of like if you could get the move from behind, where once you move back away, right? Like maybe you can grab the guy's wrist real quick and put him in a chokehold.
Yeah,
right? And
that
just
would be
slam
the
his hand
that
against the
would- I
fucking
mean-
thing and be like, we're not stabbing anyone.
There was no
Again, I
scenario
would not do this.
in which I would have ever engaged. It was always a run.
No,
yeah.
that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying I'm
You
not
would-
saying anything
yeah.
like that. I'm just saying you were like scenario wise in your head. The only way I would engage that situation, unless being directly confronted, would be if I could get behind,
Yeah.
and have the element of surprise.
If you had multiple
Or ride the
people.
dog.
That's the only other thing
right.
that you need to like. If you have 2 or 3 friends with you, you can subdue pretty much anyone at that point. But like, it's still gonna be dangerous. And
Oh,
one of you
yeah,
might get
yeah.
cut. And who the fuck
Yeah.
knows where that box cutter's been?
Yeah,
You know, it
of
might have
course, of course.
all sorts of bacteria and shit on it, and you're getting sick. So I don't know.
Tell the
That's
tell
really
the dog
bad.
to do quick attack and then slash.
And not to mention, it's like even if I for some reason I got involved, which I again that wouldn't be my first. Like I'm gonna do this.
You
if I'm not
definitely
engaged.
would. If you and I were there, and me and Tim are there, we're gonna jump out the window. we're not trying to do
Pop
anything.
that
I was trying to
emergency
sound
one and
super
roll out.
tough, but yeah, I would.
Well, no,
be
because
like,
I mean
let's get
it's the
fuck
other thing
outta
too
here.
of like you can get one hand away, but what's he got in his other pocket? You know what I mean? Like you don't know what's his other weapon. It's like it's another story we've talked about here before. But when Jen and I were down in Powell again, because Powell, like downtown Market Street, that's where fucking everybody's insane.
To be fair, if you knocked one box cut out of his hand and he went and another box cut, I'm like, you got me. That's
what Kevin asked
That
me.
was real good.
Got the
That was real
backup
good.
box
There's
cutter.
8 box cutters. Like,
Like,
just
when-
split 'em
when-
out. Like,
and
shit.
we were
we
coming
can
down
get
on
these fucking
St.
things
Patrick's
out.
Day, like the day before or after, whatever, when we were walking over to a cocktail spot, and there was a fight in front of the trolley that had stopped the trolley, and it was these people brawling. I was like, in the old days, we would have sat here and watched this, but probably one of them has a gun now, so let's
Yeah,
go.
let's
Like, I'm
get
not
the
going to
fuck
sit
out.
here and wait for this to escalate to where there's a fucking
Yeah,
shooting.
God
Yeah.
forbid. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like we obviously focus rightfully so on guns, but knives. You're allowed to carry knives. You can just have a knife in your fucking. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can have a box cut on you, right? Like that's not illegal. And that was a razor blade will fuck you
Oh my
up.
God, yeah,
Like,
no
you
way.
can
Fuck
stab
that.
with
You
that,
can
you're
easily
done.
kill someone with a razor blade. Very,
And
very
that was the thing
easily.
that was craziest to me is the guy with the dog was like egging him on. It was some Scorpion Sub-Zero shit. It was just like, get over here, come the fuck on. I'm
people
like, yo,
get-
y'all.
you know,
Well, I
people
mean, if
get
you have a-
riled up.
Yeah, for the most part, especially if you're, as you described this man, face tattooed and everything else. I don't know if he's in the same loving relationship with his dog as I am with Portillo. As much as he's like, yeah, fucking Daisy's gonna take a few cuts here, but she's gonna get you. Because that'd be the thing, right? Of like, fucking come. And if that guy engaged, I would imagine the Daisy dog that the bulldog I've now named Daisy
Definitely
would
more
fucking
like a dog to me. But
move. Yeah, well, you know, it's fun or whatever. Would engage and fucking then it's doing that and the guy's distracted. And that's when you fucking
My buddy Jason, I went over to his podcast. He lives over in Oakland. He's got a pit bull, and sweet dog. But Jesus Christ, this thing's powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Pitbulls are
you go,
very
it's big, and it literally to the point where he goes. Sometimes the tail will like take stucco off the wall if it hits it, And like it's that like that, the tail alone is that powerful that it'll go whack and it'll just leave marks on the wall. And I'm like, does the dog not feel it? And he's like, I don't think she does, because it's like her tail will be bleeding, but she doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I'm excited about everything.
Yeah.
And I'm playing around with this dog. Like, I love dogs. So I'm not afraid of any dog, no matter how big they are. I just think they're lovely. I fear no man or being. Cats, on the other hand, can all die in a fiery hell. But he's like, here, take a chew toy and play with her, so she knows that you're like, you're cool. And I start playing, and like it's a yank to the point where I'm like, oh shit, we're playing like that. Like I gotta get, like, I'm like get my base down, like trying to fucking like get my abs and my core engaged. They're fucking no joke. Like I can imagine if that dog attacked you and got its like mouth around your neck, you'd be fucking.
Oh sure.
I mean, the dudes on the bus with me, like around where I was, they were not like me. Like these are all big dudes that like I could imagine could have took someone in this situation, and they were scared shitless.
Well, sure. Like that's not what anybody's there to do, right?
Oh, yeah, of course not. But like even then, like seeing like there was dudes like there was one guy out of there before this even like started popping off. Like he was just literally jumping over seats and shit. It was crazy, man. People could have got trampled.
But
like,
again, it's the same idea, right? Of like he pulls a box cutter, you don't know if the pit bull guy's got a gun. Like you know what I mean? Like, well, it's not even
more of
a part
escalation, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know if the pit bull has a gun, Mr. Worldwide. I don't know.
If I see a pit bull shooting someone with his gun, I'm like, all right.
General Grievous shit comes out.
That's so scary. That's so scary.
A buddy of mine dated a girl once with a boxer. She had a boxer dog.
Sure.
And this thing was like really cute and it was really young, right? But it was still like full grown and like maybe almost a year old. Like this thing was gigantic. And I fucking hated how stoked it would be to meet people, because it was really strong and really big, and it would run at you and like it was really
full
excited.
Steam, man.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't know, like, big dogs a lot of the time don't know how big they are. And a lot of it was just like the first few times I'd be like, hey, I'd like, play around with it. But it was like pause first and hit your chest. You're like, it fucking hurts, dude. So every time it just became that every time I would just turn my back and let my back get like fucking, like I would get scratches on my back and shit. And I miss that dog, but it was just like too much, bro. It was too much, dog.
Curran and Shari have their corgi, and I saw it yesterday for the first time in a while, and it was so stoked to see me. But corgis low to the ground, and they're just these dense little fucking sons of bitches. And like he's just running around. I swear to God, he was trying to trip me. Like he was trying to hit me in the back of the knees to get me down. I'm just like, you're trained. You know what you're doing.
I'm like, you know how like Facebook is like, hey, it refers you to people. I got referred to Curran for like a friend. So I was like, oh, friend request Curran for sure. And then like a day later, Shari popped up, friend request. She accepts. I scroll through like one of her pictures because I see something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It looked like a wig, and I clicked on it. It was just the corgi's butt as it was laying on the ground. And I was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I fucking love corgis.
It was really cute.
I absolutely love corgis.
Yeah. Well, that's
we all survived.
Terrifying. Good. I'm glad.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Well, you guys survived. It's possible that someone died. We don't know.
It is possible.
It's possible that someone bled out in the Powell Street station.
I feel like
about Disney World.
Joe, did you find anything? You find any pitbull stuff on Citizen?
All I saw was somebody talking about a man with a knife at the Montgomery station.
Well, it was Montgomery.
Okay.
Oh wait.
That's
Montgomery's after Powell.
There we go.
So that's him.
Yep. And there wasn't like any other comments or anything like that. It was just like police were there and looking into it.
So right.
But what about the guy with the dog? He's dead, probably. Right?
Didn't see anything on there either.
Wow.
I imagine he wasn't killed.
Oh,
because like
just beat the
there's
shit
so many
into his
cops there.
dog.
The cops would have stopped it. The moment I was up in the escalator, the cops had probably already gotten to them because there's security all over that place. But yeah, I don't know.
They beat the shit out of him. Huh?
Disney World was awesome.
How was Florida? How was Florida in general?
It was great. Florida was super fun, super awesome. Full Sail was fantastic.
That was incredible. That was an incredible time.
Yeah.
We went there not knowing what we were getting into, I think. Like originally when we started talking about this opportunity, it was like, are we going there to speak? We're going to speak about Kind of Funny. Okay. And then you put it really well when we were on the way and we started talking about it. You're like, this is the most influencery thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Where the idea is that we're just going there and then we're posting about it. Like, right? And like I always talk about the inside baseball stuff. If you see us tweet about it, or in general, but very specifically in this case, you see us tweet something that says #ad or #sponsored, right? Like that's part of the deal. The agreement, right, was for us to put up X number of posts or whatever. The rest of them that don't have that are just us doing this naturally. And so when we were going there, it was very much like, what are we getting? We're going for Full Sail Hall of Fame, the 10th anniversary Hall of Fame in a row, the 10th Hall of Fame for them, where they honor students who've done awesome, cool stuff and induct them into the Hall of Fame. And it was like, okay, cool. And we're just going to panels and we're just doing how don't understand. And so when we got there and went the first day, and we got there and they were opening up the Fortress, which is their new esports arena, that was when it was like, oh, okay, this isn't at all what I thought it was.
Not at all.
This is everybody's really into their school, and this is a really cool, different place. And this is really
Full Sail is a production school. So it is a trade school where you learn video production or game design or design in general or
Hosting
script
and stuff like
writing
that,
or
yeah, yeah.
hosting.
Is it kind of like an Academy of the Arts
Yeah.
kind of
It's
school?
like an
It
art
is,
institute.
but it's the art institute.
Yeah.
And like pretty much anything that we'd be interested in any way, like that's what they teach. And really
If you've
hone in
ever
on.
read like. It was always advertised to me in every Game Informer
Yep.
magazine,
Yeah.
where you're
EGM.
turning the page.
You want to
and-
make video games?
Yeah, and you see Full Sail, and that was like Full Sail was definitely one of the schools that I had on my list of like, oh, I want to go learn either music production or whatever, because I had a buddy of mine who went to Full Sail. And then when I worked at Rooster Teeth, turns out a bunch of people who work at Rooster Teeth went to Full Sail, which
That's
makes
cool.
sense.
which is how this all came to be.
Yeah.
So Rooster
Got it.
Teeth reached out to
Right.
us because they send people to Full Sail every year for this Hall of Fame to give panels to meet people and whatever. They have a lot of alumni. We're not, but they're just like, we think that you guys pretty much, it's like the ultimate job fair where it's all these kids that are going to school for this production stuff. And now they're like, oh, Rooster Teeth is a very viable option for me to work at after I graduate. Or kind of funny could be, you know, they don't realize like how small we are. Jokes on
No,
that.
but it's still fair though. Like there are lots of places like us that need people, and
It also
having
works
someone.
the inverse, right? The other way, which I think is what our power was, is the fact that so many of our audience wants to do what we do, wants to host, wants to edit, wants to make games. And so for us to go there and actually learn what it was, because my knowledge of Full Sail started and ended with EGM ads. And that's why I put out a story when I was going through. They had like a giant blown up EGM that had it. And I was like, fuck, dude, like I remember this.
Yeah.
This is how I heard about Full Sail. But outside of that, I would have never thought about Full Sail outside of, I want to get into game development. I think Full Sail does it. So to go there and have, you know, a literal week of meeting the faculty, the staff, the alumni, and the students. And I told you, I think at the end of day one, where I was like, I get it. I get what this is. This is, everyone is talking about this place the way I talk about Mizzou. And all of them are as into it as I am into Mizzou, which me being into Mizzou is not what every one of the thousands of people in a class of Mizzou is into. Whereas it seemed like everyone there was into this.
that's really cool.
And every one of the panels we went to was like, here's how I got my job. Here's how you can work on getting your job. Here's how this, and it was all like useful information for them and what they were trying to do.
And I feel like you guys will appreciate this, and people listening that have heard me say this a million times. I don't trust the college system. I don't like it. I'm against so much of that stuff. This totally changed my mind for a very specific thing. I would have loved to have gone to this school. Like the amount that every student cares, every teacher cares. The president of the school's 40 years old.
Gary.
He's been there the entire time. Gary Jones.
Jones.
The man,
Gary.
the myth, the legend.
Hey, buddies.
Like this dude, we meet him and like he's just the most he's the most Greg Miller ass motherfucker.
If you
you'll
want,
ever
Gary
meet.
Jones is very much some kind
They
of
have a
weird.
pocket full of Red Hots.
It's a weird love child of me and Clements.
I feel like his name's
Where, like-
what? Like,
You know how nice
That's a
Clements
kid I'd
is,
like to
right?
hang out with, yeah.
Where like when I met Gary Jones, he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, Mr. Pleasure to meet you, Gary. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a hugger. I'm like, yeah, you are. Me too. And like he goes and hugs his students in a good way if they're open to it. You know what I mean? Of like, hey, like this
Greg Miller.
Hey, yeah, exactly. But I mean, like that's the kind of relationship he has, which could so easily, I think, be seen as, man, what a hokey, weird thing. And you talk to any of the kids we talked to. Thank you all who came to the meet and greets, both on campus and off, or
I
anybody
guess
who
that gets
stopped
right
us for a photo. And like, no, they are into Full Sail. They are into talking together.
He's
They
like
are
a
into being a part
celebrity
of it.
there.
I love that. I mean, we've talked a lot about our college years, and we've all had sort of mixed experiences. You obviously love Mizzou. Like I went to Irvine. That's the best I can say out of that. And it wasn't because the school was bad. It's just because I was looking for something I think the school didn't have, which was I wanted that traditional college experience, and it was very much a commuter school and very much a school you went to if you wanted to be a computer science major or a biological science major, like pre-med. And I was a film major. And so if you told me at that time, like I think when I was going to college, there was such an importance placed in the 4-year accredited university experience that if you told me, if I was growing up now, if I had a kid, I'd be like, hey, and you're into production and there's a school that just will let you just do that. I think I probably would have gotten a lot. I think I would have come out of that university way more ahead than the education that I had at Irvine.
And dude, Nick, you would have loved this place. Like so many toys, so many resources. People cared so much. And so we were there for the Hall of Fame induction where there was like 6 new people that every year they bring people in that are alumni that are doing crazy things and just being awarded and whatever. crazy things they're doing are sound engineering for Justin Bieber.
That's cool.
Light design on
Sweet
stage
Pea.
doors. Yeah, Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea got inducted, and all he does is like fucking run the lights and shit for like Brad Paisley, and like not all he does, but I mean it's not like putting a man on the moon, right? This is very much like we are recognizing you from your specific fields that you're doing something and being what Phil says should be. And I also want to, before I pass it back to you, I want to point out that I was talking about ad and sponsored and stuff. This episode is not sponsored. This is literally I was so impressed.
Yeah, so impressed. But like every hall is lined with trophies and awards, Oscars, Grammys, Emmys.
They had handwritten notes from James Cameron because somebody worked on Avatar, so they have like those up there.
Really cool.
And billboards, like the billboards outside the school, like so it's like not, these aren't for the school. These are just like Orlando,
Florida,
or I guess the city's
Winter Park.
All of them are just like congratulations to the 256 students from Full Sail that worked on Endgame. Congratulations to everyone that worked on Detective Pikachu. Like all of this stuff. And it was just like such a surreal world to be in where I'm like, oh my God, these people care about all this stuff so much. But the actual ceremony for the Hall of Fame was like the most kind of funny live production of all time, where they cared about this Hall of Fame thing the way we care about entertaining everyone. Video walls as far as the fucking eye can see.
Yes.
Like
live music.
I mean,
you have to think of this though, right? Like, who do you think put that on?
Exactly. And that's
students.
the thing is the students are putting it on, getting real experience to be able to do it. And I was so blown away by everyone carrying the logo designs that they had for this stuff. Gorgeous. Like motion graphics, all of the shit. It was just like, this is what happens when you get a bunch of people together that have passion and create those passions together.
A bunch of creatives.
Yeah, but like creatives given, I mean, they're paying a lot of money, given a lot of resources and
guidance, probably, right? Because I'm sure the administration was like,
including Timbaland.
Really?
Who was there, former alumni, got to see him do a bunch of shit. It was like,
met Timbaland?
He was in the same room with me. I didn't
Just say you met him.
He walked through and then I saw him.
Just like how we met William Shatner when we were.
By the way, have you seen the really cool
Next
video where Timbaland and Pharrell are just hyping up each other's beats and songs? It's a great video. Anyway,
so you guys should YouTube that.
Yeah,
Timbaland, Pharrell, and
fantastic
it's
video.
literally something like, I mean, we got the greatest right here. He did, and he starts going into like little random acts, like on the fourth bar when you drop out that and bring in the horn or whatever.
And then like Pharrell will like be like, no, but your song, this and that, and Timbaland will be like, no, but the day I turn on the radio and I just hear, and they're just like, oh man, like no, they're just like hyping each other up. It's such a good video.
Real cool.
That's
but yeah,
cool.
Timbaland gave a Q&A and it was awesome, like real informative stuff.
And it was, to what you're talking about, and like I think the reason it works from what we see and the way everybody talks about it there and the way, people talk to us about it was the same way, like we're talking about how much I love Mizzou, right? Because I went there for journalism and everything was on track for journalism. And you learned the reason, the J school's so great is that you work at the daily paper, right? You're making the daily paper. It's the same thing here, right? Same where these kids are the ones who are making the show or producing the show and making all this stuff happen are the ones who are learning there too. You're there to do it. And it was I didn't realize this, right? When we went there, this is going to sound stupid, of course. The first thing I did, oh my God, we're going to Orlando? NXT. Is NXT there? Can I go to an NXT show? No NXT shows all the week we're there. I'm like, of course. And then we get there and we're walking on campus and there's a giant banner for NXT. And I was to our tour, I'm like, wait, do they do NXT here? She's like, oh yeah, they do NXT at Full Sail Live. And it's like, that's why there's no NXT this week, because Full Sail Live is being taken over for the Hall of Fame.
That's fucking awesome.
And I was like,
Where they do NXT.
But so then they did the Hall of Fame thing, right? And they did it in 3 different locations. They did it in Full Sail Live, which is where they do NXT, which is where we were. They did it in the Fortress now, where there was another group over there. So like it was 3 and 3.
The place called the Fortress.
Yeah, that's the esports arena I was talking about earlier that they just opened up.
So they just opened
awesome.
the world's largest collegiate esports arena, and they're dedicating fully into giving kids scholarships and stuff to play video games professionally.
And then the third one was out in the back lot. They have a back lot that has all these sets and a fake gas station and all these fake things to go shoot your films on and movies on.
Fucking rad.
But they had a giant stage there, which is where they did the Timberland thing. But they had all the students gathered there. And so when it was all over, everyone from the 2 other areas went outside to mingle with the students in front of the giant thing, and they had food and they had drinks and everything. And eventually though, they're like, all right, cool, let's do the presentation and like the real end ceremony and stuff. That was for everybody. And they brought up a dude from the WWE who's like corporate, right? Like Vince. And then Alexa Bliss. And then what was the other guy? King
Ricochet.
King Ricochet, right? Who are NXT people who have now graduated to the main roster, right? Or Ricochet hasn't, but he's the champ right now for NXT. Is that right?
No, Ricochet recently just got full-time WWE.
Gotcha.
Alexa Bliss is like one of the most
Alexa, we know, yeah. And so they were up there very much like, this has been a relationship with Full Sail for however many years it's been now. It's been awesome. And when we started this, one of the things we both wanted wanted, Full Sail and he's like, Triple H, both wanted was this to benefit the students of Full Sail, right? So he's like, of course, NXT is here at Full Sail Live, and the production staff on that are the students who do all these different things. So we have started this WWE NXT Full Sail scholarship, and we want to give out the first, 3 or 4 of them or whatever. And they surprise the kids there that were working the fucking thing. So it was like, she's from wherever, and the camera like jets over, and it's this woman or this girl just crying, right, with a headset on.
A cam op.
Yeah.
Just gets a $10,000.
And then there was somebody in Video Village that they brought back. I was like, this is so fucking cool, right? Like,
it's like when they give away scholarships to like seniors in college football and stuff like that. Like have you ever seen those videos?
They give scholarships to seniors in college football? They don't need money anymore, Andy. They're leaving.
No, I guess there's been people that have been there for a while that like they'll say like we're paying off all this shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's people who have been there for a while that are not the stars of the team at all, that nobody knows. But it's like
the ones that actually make it happen.
And we'd like to give you, and they pay for all their shit. Like those are like they just make me cry so much, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So Alexa Bliss comes out, they do the WWE thing, give out the scholarships, and that was amazing. And we have Full Sail, whole production lot. So they have this whole like stages and sets and everything.
It looks like Main Street USA. It looks like, when you're doing that, like I said, the fake gas station.
So that shit was great. And then after that, they like roll this video about like the Gary Jones, the president we're talking about. His don't play it yet. His car that like
when they started, the way Full Sail started, the way I understand it was they had the Dream Machine, which was this old, like it's 40 years old, so this would have been 70s, late 70s motorhome they had. That was like, that's where they did stuff. That was Full Sail for a while, where they drove this Dream Machine van around basically and like taught people.
It was the 70s.
And so then they sold it and they lost it, and this happened.
So they told this story, and like this was a surprise to the president for this 10-year Hall of Fame, whatever. They got a bunch of Hall of Famers to go try to find the original van that they had. And they ended up not being able to find the original one, but they like remade one from the ground up, whatever the fuck. They showed it at this place. They had the van drive in accompanied by a police escort, and it's like it was one of those like, now turn around, and everyone turns around from the stage, and there's this giant van coming, and they start shooting pyro everywhere. I don't have the video
of that. That on a story. I can
it's like Triple H on the motorcycle.
It is. And dude, honestly, but here's the thing: all of this production was 10 out of 10 because it's all these people that know how to operate all of this shit. So then after all of that happened, like we'll show when he says that to
it's gonna take me a second.
But it all ends with I'm blanking on his name. DJ Da Vinci, who's like a real DJ, has like Tiesto, like that type of shit. He comes up, he starts DJing for the party. Play this shit, Kevin.
Wait, Avicii or
I turned it down so it's not horrible, but like the fireworks are set to the DJ shit. He's shooting them off as he's scratching.
That's nasty.
And these fucking ladies are like, this video does not do it justice for how insane it was. This is a college. This is not Disney World.
See, I think if this was what UC Irvine was, I would have really liked UC Irvine. But I mean, honestly, that's such a cool thing that they're doing, and that's obviously the power of like going to a more trade school oriented thing, which is that they have those tracks, right? Is that you come in and they've got people you can learn from who are on the way out, and then those are the ones that are those are the people you contact when you need a job. And that, I mean, honestly, like that's the whole point of going to most of your undergraduate stuff anyway, unless you're learning a hardcore thing like computer science, or if you're doing business, people go to Harvard Business School because they want to get hired by other people who graduated from Harvard Business. Or if you're law, you hire like Harvard law people hire Harvard law people. And so it's cool that there's the schools out there like this that, if you had gone there, you'd be like, you have a, and it's great for business owners too, because then we could tap into an entire group of people that have experience and have like, I've done this shit, and I can come run Kind of Funny Live 18 or whatever.
That's the coolest thing that they're doing, I think, is that they're totally giving back to the community, and the whole point of the Hall of Fame event is to give students experience, but then also all the students get in free, so they get to go meet these people, go to the panels, ask any questions they want, and like all of it is it's a giant job fair trying to help people get really in, cool. And it's like it's
great. That's great for networking.
I had such a great time. I was blown away by it, and this was really
especially
cool.
for coming in and not knowing what we were doing.
Exactly.
Where it was like, wait, we're not giving panels. We're just like, what is the one? And now it is that thing of like, in the same way I evangelize Mizzou, right? I evangelize this because this is so cool. Like if you want to do anything they do, I would say it. And like, granted, I don't know. I know what I experienced.
It's gonna be expensive as fuck.
Yeah, I know what I experienced by going there, right? Like I don't know anything about it, because I know one person to hit me up and be like, you should be careful, and I'm like, I don't know anything, and I've only heard good things, especially from all the people there. So like whatever. Here, I got the Dream Machine for you, Tim. You want to roll back here? Kev.
Pull it back.
Well, whatever. Just like
Yeah, just hit play.
So yeah, this is, and you see all these fucking hundreds of kids there in this fucking motorhome coming out of the smoke.
And people are losing their minds.
That haze.
Well, like the thing I told
That's legendary.
Tim,
dude.
right, was like, we were literally as the Dream Machine started, a couple fans came over like, oh my god, like, oh hey, mama, and like the video for the Dream, I'm like, I gotta, I'm sure they're gonna put this on YouTube if they haven't already.
Yeah,
I gotta go see this Dream Machine video and hear the whole story, how these alumni went back and got it and made all this happen.
It was. I know we sound like crazy people right now, but we were seriously this jazzed the whole time about how crazy this was. The panels I got to go to were so interesting. I wish Nick could have heard this part.
He sucks.
I got to do a panel with HBO's vice president. And he runs programming for HBO.
Wow.
And it was a one-on-one with him. And he was answering any questions. And he was being so specific about how HBO is dealing with Netflix and how they think about their programming lineup, how they're dealing with Game of Thrones, like their tentpole being gone.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
kids were even asking like, hey man, Game of Thrones this season, blah, blah, blah. And like he had real kind of like direct answers and feedback. And it was really interesting. Like there was no holds barred. They're just like, we're going in for this. But like they talked about how shows are pitched at HBO, how they get greenlit, why things get renewed. I'm like, this is fascinating stuff. You know,
because it's weird. I've always been really curious about HBO because like it's not like yes, there are barometers and you can tell what the views are and things like that, but it's not like when you go to a movie and you buy a ticket and that ticket represents a view for this movie or whatever. Like HBO is just like sort of this subscription thing with no commercials. Like it's always confused me.
So no commercials, and they went into all this, and they're just like, look, we understand that we have analytics that we can look at of how many people are watching this at what time, or oh, this show has a fan base on HBO Go, but no one watches it on TV.
Oh, really?
So it's like, oh, because of that, we should really focus on like, it doesn't matter. We can give that the worst time slot because they're not watching it there anyway. They're watching it on demand.
Cool shit.
And then there's other things of like they're limited by how much time they have in a day for original programming. On the TV channel. So they need to make sure that their seasons are all correlating and working together.
Did you ask him why the streaming quality is so bad?
No, people started getting into that type of stuff, and then he was just like, that's not my division. Like let's talk about programming and stuff.
Worth pointing out right now, if you do go to Full Sail on YouTube, the main hauls were streamed and they're up there on. So the HBO one is up right now.
Oh, awesome!
They went up
that's
5 hours ago. It has 51 views. Like again, if you think any of this sounds interesting, go there because the HBO one's up on there.
I saw
the one I
Miles-
went to creating
Miles was streamed too. As well.
Yeah, creating player options for Dungeons and Dragons. One of the ones I went to there, promoting your personal brand, AR and VR at Facebook. Like this is all up there, and that was the thing, right? Of like when we were there and talking to people, right? Like remember we were sitting down and it was like, okay, here's some Rooster Teeth people sat down. It was you, me, and Kovic, and then the dude Courtney from Google sat down. It was like, oh hey, like yeah, I work at Google, and we bullshit around about his job, and then Don sat down. We're talking to him about it. It was like. We had a fucking team, man. We were rolling deep at this thing. It was great.
It was
I'm
all
shocked
very cool.
Brian Riley didn't go. He's from Full Sail.
So apparently he was there. He just wasn't there.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, no, he left the day you guys got there. That's right. Yeah,
like he was there, but then he wasn't at any of the events. He was just at the school, but not for Hall of Fame. I don't know how that happened.
Well, I think
what a creep.
I think they were sending everybody at different times or something like that. Because I saw that's right. I saw him post on like just on Instagram and I was like, oh, Greg and Tim are gonna be there. He was like, oh, well, fuck, maybe I'll see him at the airport because I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
then
weird, but
Chris Kokonos, who's like the lead
was with us
sound
the whole
guy.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would love to go back. Like that's the
100%.
thing. I was like, I'm stoked about it. I was like, that was really damn cool.
I didn't know the school was that cool though.
It
Me
is.
neither. Yeah, me
honestly,
neither.
man, it was a
I know
playground.
it's cool as shit anyway just to be in an art school or to be in a trade school like that where you're in a game design track, but sometimes the schools like Art Institute in Austin just looks like a normal ass building and there's nothing really special that sticks out about it. Where the class like based on these photos that you all were posting, everything has like cool color schemes.
Oh, yeah.
and
Sure.
everything
Oh, yeah.
looks
Every-
futuristic.
It's all designed by
This
people.
had like
exactly.
none of Art Institute had like nothing like that. But again, Art Institute Aardvarks, #1 in the nation.
rocking it, dude.
I guess I didn't realize that there
Stop
were
saying
multiple art
aardvarks. That's a trigger word for me.
Because there's one in Santa Ana, Costa Mesa. that,
Full
like-
Sail?
No, Art Institute.
Art Institute, got it. Yeah, this school, the photos y'all were posting, that school looked way more futuristic and kind of in the know.
Before
than-
we full on transition to Disney, Tim, I do want to give a shout out to Lazy Moon Pizza
Oh
and
my
a shout
God.
out to Arugas. All right.
Yes.
Two vastly. Are you aware of either of these places, Andy?
No, but Nick and I held it down last week. Let's just say that, right, Nick?
No, I heard the opposite. Actually, everybody was really. I thought numbers were really soft and everybody's really angry.
I mean, that's what I care. We crushed it last week.
That's what I put on the Reddit. So I don't know.
Is that what you did?
The shit that I said.
Lazy Moon Pizza, Tim. Pizza slices as big as your head.
Yeah, and it was an experience to say the least.
We liked it so much on night one, we went back on night two.
Yeah,
Man, that sounds
And what we did, we were at the Hall of Fame dinner, like the VIP super reception, and Tim and I beforehand were like, all right, cool, let's make an appearance and then we'll leave. Don't eat anything. Don't eat too much here. And we're like, cool. So we bummed around the cocktail thing. We're hanging out. They're coming by with little apps. It's great. We went outside. We're outside drinking, talking to some of the alumni. One of the guys from id Software was inducted to the Hall of Fame, so I talked to him about Doom for a while. And they're like, oh, please come back in. We're going to make a speech. Came back in, made a speech. Then they opened these giant banquet doors, and you walked in, and it was these long tables with candles on them.
It was some Harry Potter shit.
We're like, fuck, this is like a real thing. And like, we sat down, and like, it's buffet style. People are coming back with these steaks, and Courtney's like, this is the best steak I've ever had. And
Meanwhile, me and Greg are just like,
I'm like 3 whiskeys in, like, fuck
else.
you, Tim. Fuck you. And Tim's like, don't eat. We're still going somewhere. Like, God,
we waited too long, so everywhere was closed by the time we went. So we almost had to go back to Lazy Moon fucking pizza, and we had a conversation between the two. It was like, yo, we did it 2 nights in a row. If we do it a third,
well, I was still talking about the night where we did go back, where everything was closed, and then we did go.
But night 3, we had a conversation. It was like, hey, I have no shame. I'm down to go again. We cannot tweet about it though.
I was like, Tim, we got to tweet about it.
You should have just Airbnb'd it and hoped that it rained and you never got the pizza.
Fucking monsters.
That's like I was in Missoula for that film festival.
Missoula, Montana.
And there was like it was like every place was closed except for bars. And the Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's was open till like 3.
Yeah,
and I was like, I will go here every fucking night.
Yeah.
And they were the loveliest human beings I've ever met. I walked in and my wife was with me. She was like, I don't really know how this works. And before I could say anything, the guy behind the front desk was like, man, let me tell you how this works. And gave her the spiel, and I was like, this place is heaven.
Great employees? Wow.
Yeah, oh my God, Jimmy John's, you have to be great.
They were not, and the guy that was making my sandwich was talking me through it.
What time was this at?
It was like
Jimmy
2 o'clock in the
John
morning.
Okay, got it.
Maybe like 1:30 in the morning. I mean,
Sucks.
it was. They're open super late.
Wow.
Jimmy John himself? That dude sucks. He's like killing
He
endangered
got
animals and
canceled?
shit. What?
He's canceled.
Is that what
Is
we
he
call it?
cleansed?
Cleansed. Yeah, totally.
Is it like
They have a whole-
Canceled's what more
killing
normal
fucking
people
nice
say.
elephants and shit. Like that elephant wasn't trying to kill you, Jimmy John. Why are you killing
God
that
damn it,
thing?
Jimmy John.
I know, right? But
Is
no.
this true?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kevin, Google it up. Find me Jimmy John's killing animals.
I thought you were doing your
it's
Greg
the
Miller thing.
It's the normal Greg Miller thing of like, I've heard he sucks.
Oh, okay.
I haven't put on my fucking PI hat and dug into it, but I saw it anyways. Lazy Moon Pizza, great. And then we went over to Aruga's,
Oh my
this
God.
wing joint out there.
That's what fucking did it. I was craving pizza all fucking weekend, and I couldn't figure out why. And it's that picture of you
see me,
with
slices
the
as big
fucking
as my head.
gigantic slice
Oh
on
my
your
God.
Instagram.
So good beers. Tim and I were they're getting loaded.
Yeah,
Thanks to all
right.
the fans who just randomly saw us there.
When Nick and I were holding it down, it was just Nick going, these fucking assholes posting pizza every goddamn day.
Every fucking, I was like, did you just eat pizza? Is that all you ate? You just fucking kept one of those pizza?
And then there was Aruga's.
So for one night, Aruga's,
Yeah, this wing place out there or whatever. And like it was that normal thing of like when we go somewhere, and I'm not trying to sound like a SF elitist. I like to stay away. No, okay.
Jim
Jones. Jim Jones is what you took away from that. That's what you brought up on Wikipedia.
That happened to me yesterday. I was looking up Buell Elementary, a school back home, and I Googled Buell, and the first Google search is like some other Buell Elementary that's not in Texas, and a little girl was killed. She was shot on campus.
No.
And I was like, oh my God, no, I don't, this isn't what I was looking for.
I like how somehow having a conversation with Kevin is like playing telephone with 18 people. Where you're like, the Red Robin's in the treehouse, and what does it get to? Jim Jones. Does Jamie Jones kill endangered animals? Here's Jim Jones.
Oh, Snopes. You got a Snopes article.
While we're pulling this up, so over the weekend I had a couple. Just as true. I had 2 very interesting situations where I felt very, very much like a fish out of water, and both of them sort of bookended with pizza, which was great. So I went out for my buddy Janesh's birthday, his 27th birthday, and he's one of
the comedian.
Yeah, he's one of the comedians.
I know him. I see him.
Yeah, I book him on a lot of stuff because I just think he's funny and he's a great stand-up guy. But I go out.
What the hell was that?
And I was like, how many people are coming out tonight? He goes, well, everyone's coming out tonight. And we went to this bar in the Mission called, I can't remember the name of it. El Rio. Yeah, El Rio. And I've never been there before. It's a cool, crazy, weird bar.
Backyard.
But there's dancing, right? And so we have a couple. We have a couple. and maybe some stuff is passed around, and Nick's feeling good. Uncle Nick's feeling good, okay? And they go, let's go dance. And I'm like,
Nick.
this sounds great.
Yeah.
Now in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm counting down the moments where I can ghost on people and go get pizza. Because I'm like, my wife's out of town. I'm getting pizza.
What was passed around?
So just things get passed around at parties, Kevin. That's what the cool kids do. It doesn't matter.
People
Long story
pass around
short.
things.
You doing PCP again?
Yeah, I'm doing fucking straight up meth. But it doesn't matter. I'm just saying everyone's on a good level where we're feeling a little uninhibited. Okay, so I'm like, I'm gonna go dance. I'll dance with everyone.
Told me about
right? It's me, 11 other comedians on the dance floor, no one else, and this trap song comes on.
Oh God.
And I have never heard this song in my life, but every single person but me starts singing the lyrics and dancing almost in unison to this weird cowboy western trap song.
Oh my God.
And I have never
Take my horse to the old town road.
And they start singing to it, and I go, I legitimately turned to one of my friends, and I'm like, are you guys pranking me right now? Like, are you legit? And he's like, you are so fucking old. Like, I can't believe it. And I've never felt more out of place in my entire life. I was just like, I actually like tried to sing. I was like,
He's telling me this story because he gave me a ride home from John Wick. He's telling me this story, and I'm like, oh, that's the worst, dude. Because I'm not super current on music at all. Like, I've fallen off. Like, my free time doesn't go to top 50 music, top 40s music. I just listen to my podcast or whatever. And you're telling me this story, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. And we're driving, and then
I put on top 50 on Spotify because I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, just subconsciously like, what is this song?
And then Old Town Road Policy goes, number 2. It's a fucking song.
But dude, I have never felt so much like the new kid before in my entire. I mean, everyone they were like dancing the same way, and no one noticed because everyone was blitzed anyway. But I just felt so
and so
out of and then so I go home to try to get pizza because I'm like, I gotta lick my wounds. The line was out the door. That's the pizza portion of it. But I was like, I still want pizza. The next day, I go to Cal's birthday party, 3-year-old's birthday party, and I am the only one there without 2 kids. The only one there. So much to the point where at the end of the thing, everyone goes, okay, everyone grab your kids, let's get in the picture. And I'm standing there by myself, and my buddy Brendan's like, here, we got 2. So he just hands me to the kid. And so I'm like holding his kid in the picture.
You should have just been like,
No, I mean, I was like, I know. And then I look at the picture and I'm holding him wrong. I'm holding him like this, and everyone else is holding him with one hand. I was like, oh my God. But then I finally got pizza at that thing. So that ended up working out.
That is one of my favorite stories you've ever fucking told.
the Old Town
Road, man.
Him just be like, it's a fucking song.
You lucked out, Nick. I saw this on Reddit last night. I brought it up right now. I got mugged at gunpoint last night in the bathroom at El Rio.
No
Mission
shit.
Bar staff and crowd told me to shut up and get out. Yeah, this is
the bathrooms are standalone bathrooms.
I'll read you the story now. This is from the San Francisco subreddit Eli Block. I was in line at the bathroom and 2 guys in front of me picked a fight. When the next bathroom opened, they told me to go ahead. And being drunk, I didn't question it. The bathrooms are single-user family restrooms. When I opened the door to leave, the 2 guys barged in and started yelling at me and shoving me. Then one of the guys pulled out a gun, pointed at my head, and bruised my forehead with the barrel. One of the guys felt up my pockets and took my wallet, but they left my phone. Then they opened the door and had me leave before them. First thing I did was tell the bar staff nearby what happened, and they directed me to the bartender. So I walked up to the bar and I said to the bartender, I got mugged at gunpoint in the bathroom. She immediately said I was lying, and people nearby started all saying the same thing and telling me I was drunk and to get out. Nobody bothered to ask for any details or give me a chance to explain. I was drunk, but I don't think I was behaving erratically or doing anything really. A pretty bizarre experience.
Wow. This dude was
one
drunk
man on the
and
dance
lost
floor
his
didn't know
wallet.
what Old Town Road was.
It was so fucking funny. The realization, it was such a, you can't write that.
I've never seen Andy laugh harder.
No, dude, that is.
Then I was like, "This is the song," and Andy was like wheezing to try to get his breath with how much he was laughing at it.
Oh yeah, I explained to him. I was like, it's popular because it's dumb. It's a meme.
I totally get it now. Yeah. It popped up again because I just replayed the list and I looked at the guy's name. It's like Little Nas X. And I was like, okay, this is a thing. I get it.
This is a thing.
I explained to him there was a really funny tweet where I guess he played that song at Coachella, and like the whole crowd is like going crazy, right, or whatever. And it's like a backstage view from a camera phone, and then somebody, I guess he retweeted that. And somebody replied, yeah, but what song did he play next, though? Like, making fun of that it's just a one-hit wonder. And he replied, I didn't play another song. I went to the bank and cashed a check. And he's like, it's so great because he's fully aware that this is a one hit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to milk, like, you guys think I'm going to milk this shit as long as possible.
As
like,
you
he's
do. As you
fully
do.
tweets out, it's great. Like, full transparency.
He got Billy Ray Cyrus on the remix.
That's
Yeah.
what Annie told me, and I was like, none of this makes any sense.
I didn't know it was
to
a
me.
remix.
Doesn't need to. Doesn't need
it's a
to.
remix.
Because
I feel like that's the one that took off.
I was
the
telling Nick
most.
that they were trying to get it they were trying to get it for a country
They
category.
wouldn't put it on the country music like top list,
Which is what
Yeah.
blew
which is
it up.
why they put Billy Ray Cyrus on it.
Yeah.
This makes
Smart
sense.
move.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Makes
going to put
sense.
Billy Ray Cyrus on this show one day.
One day.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Tim,
Yes.
I left you Friday. I
did.
said, Florida, you've been good to me. I got to get home to
Been
Portillo
hot.
and the wife.
Yes.
You said, I'm going to stay here even longer.
Screw you.
I'm going to bring James Burke into the fold.
James
of course,
Burke's
host of WWE in Review, patreon.com.
James Burke's going to fly from San Francisco to Florida, arriving at 6 a.m. in the morning on
Yikes.
Friday. And we're going to go do
What
Disney
time did he
World.
leave here? Like
That'd be a
9,
red eye.
10?
That'd be a red eye.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So he would have landed there at 3 a.m. this time.
Yeah, okay.
For him, for his body.
So that's like a
right?
6-hour flight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Burke is so committed to the things that he loves.
Baseball and Disney.
And WWE.
And WWE. So there you go.
And there's many of them.
It's the
you
trend.
know?
If you see him, he'll always be wearing a baseball jersey, but the baseball jersey's either going to be WWE, Disney,
He always has a Giants hat.
or Giants.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he comes and we go, and we did Epcot the first day. Oh man, I should have prepped this better. A best friend hooked me up with Epcot tickets. I'll find this later.
It's
But,
not
Mike.
Thor.
yes. What's his last name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Kerrigan?
Kerrigan. Thank you.
The- what,
Mike
Solo?
Kerrigan.
Go get
no,
Mike.
No. So we weren't planning on going for anything Friday because I only had tickets for Saturday and Sunday. At the meet and greet, Mike Kerrigan and his family coming in.
Again,
clutch.
great meet and greet. Thank you all for coming out
Fantastic.
to the Devil's Brewing Sins.
Oh, what's his unit?
Something
What's his
I don't
unit?
remember.
I think it's M. Kerrigan or
Yeah.
It's
M.
M.
I know
Kerrigan.
that is,
You
okay.
you would definitely recognize
Yeah.
his Twitter profile, little face thing that he has going on there. This guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, he got me and James tickets to go to Epcot, which is one of the Disney World parks. So we did that Friday, did the whole thing. That's where you get to drink around the world and do all that stuff.
One thing before you go, I thanked everybody coming to that meet and greet. Thanks, of course, to Mario Not Bros for driving our drunk asses out for
Hell
tacos.
yeah.
At,
Mario
right
Not
at-
Bros,
yeah.
man.
Like we
Doing
were
the damn thing. Just turned 21.
Can I hit pause on this real
Yeah.
quick to tell you guys what is it like Friday night? I want to say or Saturday.
God, yeah, I
Maybe
forgot.
Thursday. Maybe it was Thursday. It was Wednesday. Thank you. Okay.
So we have a great meet and greet at the Sins place. Can somebody Google where the fucking meet and
Deadly
greet was?
Sins
Deadly
Brewing.
Sins. Thank you very much. We had a great time. Amazing turnout. Everybody there was awesome, except for the staff in the beginning. But eventually they came
turned around on us.
Yeah, exactly. And so then it's the first time at a meet and greet in a long time I was fucking drunk at the end of it. Because it was the party mode crew was there that came out to the Arizona meet and greet. They were supplying me with IPAs nonstop.
Oh, God.
No waters. So I was having a great time at the end. And then it was time to go have Gringos Locos Tacos or whatever the hell it was called.
Greg Miller was in rare form
So-
in a way that I normally don't see him, and then this happened.
So y'all made Mario Not Bros drive you to the tacos. Right.
It was an honor.
For you to drive with them. I got it. So I'm minding my own business at home in California after what I would say is probably one of the hardest work weeks of our life, right, Andy?
We killed it.
Just
Absolutely.
fucking crushing
Carried the
it.
company,
Party modes,
Yeah.
every podcast. At some point, I popped on Gamescast to make sure Fran was looking at the right fucking camera and not face the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just
Fran
enjoying.
is dumb.
I'm just minding my own business, and I get a call from Greg. Now, what I know when I see Greg Miller pop up on my phone, one of two things is happening. It's either a very important question that I need to answer, or I'm getting fucked with. But either way, I always answer the phone when Greg calls. Always. This no exception. Click the phone, go to answer it, and before I can say hello, I hear this. He's such a piece of shit. He's not going to answer the fucking phone. Look at him. He's probably sitting there in his fucking underwear watching porn. And I'm like, I can hear you, right? You motherfucker. I was like, are you already talking shit before I even answer? And then y'all started quizzing me on Mario Not Bros facts, and I knocked it out of the park.
You did so well. That was one of those situations I was like, don't do this, Greg. Don't do it. Greg, he's like, nah, he's such an asshole. Like, oh my God. I texted you. I texted you after being like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I love you guys. I don't give a shit. It was hilarious.
Dude, the wife was out of town. Nick was.
No, she was very much listening to this conversation. This was Wednesday. She didn't leave till Thursday.
Got it.
That's right. She was like,
I forgot they were gone all week, not just the weekend.
We were watching something. I was at the Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something, and I immediately started into it. And she was like, "Can you just bring it down? Bring it down a little bit." But yeah, that was funny. I thought that was good.
That was.
Thank you, Mario, for keeping us alive.
Mario killing the damn game. Anyway, we did Epcot all day Friday, and that was a lot of fun. Epcot is like the adult land. Essentially, you get to drink around the world, eat around the world, where like each little kind of section's a different part of the world with their own food and
they have like their winery days or whatever.
And that stuff that was all really cool. A lot of the rides were a little older, like that's kind of the OG classic stuff. Epcot's about to be dope as fuck in a couple years when they have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride and some other things. But otherwise, I was like, it's fine. They had the Frozen ride, which was. So it was kind of like the Aladdin movie to me, where I was going with so low expectations that I'm like, that was fucking awesome. Because people like to hate on Frozen. Like it's kind of just the cool thing to do.
To hate on Frozen?
There. Yeah.
Too popular.
Yeah, Frozen's popular.
It was way too popular.
It's just, like, some people are like, fucking Frozen's taking over everything.
It's fucking perfect.
And so Frozen was a reskin of an old ride they had, and people always get up, like purists, get up in arms when they do the reskins of old rides. Sure. So there was a lot of negativity going into it. I get on this thing and I'm like, this is awesome. Like at some point, Elsa starts shooting ice everywhere and you're just backing out. I'm like, y'all are tripping
what
balls,
kind of a ride
dude.
is it? What do you mean?
It's one of those storybook ones where like you get on, like you go room to room and it kind of like tells you a story.
Right.
But then it has a thrill ride part where like during Let It Go,
Toads, kinda?
she starts singing and it just, you turn backwards and start just going hella fast as she's shooting hella ice at you.
That sounds awesome.
And like ice is coming everywhere. It was really cool. I had a blast there. We watched Illuminations, which is the nighttime show at Epcot. It's going away in September, so it was cool seeing it before it ended. It's a whatever show. It's one of those Disney night shows, like a lot of water projections and all that type of stuff.
Controversial take. People love Illumination.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. I get it, and I love people that love the things that they love, and the purists out there that are doing all this stuff. I've seen so much Disney shit at this point that like I compare things this to that, and it's like that ain't no World of Color. It's like it's cool,
so
and you like this thing, but like
I wish I could sing World of Color. Fucking weather
it's amazing.
delays, dude.
It's amazing, man. But that was the thing about Florida is no weather issues because it's just like it's always just 1,000 degrees.
You wore shorts.
I did not own shorts. I learned that Epcot day. Like I don't wear shorts. Y'all motherfuckers know this.
I love when you wear shorts though. Like occasionally when I see you in shorts, I love
Swim
it.
trunks.
Well, like so few people wear shorts around here anyway.
You can't wear shorts. It's fucking 60 degrees outside.
I don't own shorts.
2 days a
Like
year that it's worth
ever.
wearing shorts.
So
I almost commented on it, but I was like, this will be taken out of context. I don't want to,
about me wearing shorts.
Yeah, because
Look
I
like a
wasn't.
fucking
It wasn't
uncle?
like, hey, you're wearing shorts, nice calves, jerk. It was like you're just like, oh, you never do this.
No, but that Friday when we were at Epcot, I was like wearing black jeans,
Oh,
and I'm
God,
like,
no.
fuck this. I'm on a quest to get shorts. So I ended up buying very expensive shorts that are just goddamn khakis. Why are they $50? Because they have a Mickey Mouse on the butt.
Nice.
Anyway, so
Couldn't have gone to
then-
like a local CVS or something, or
When you're in Disney World, you're in Disney World. You're not
Have you
getting
been to
out.
Disney World?
I've been there
It's not
once when I
called
was in middle
Disney
school.
Place,
Fucking
Andy.
nailed
Yo,
it.
Disney World,
you're
you're
in
just
it.
everything is Disney. There's no getting out. It has its own highways, its own like infrastructure.
its own
Remember when
zip
Greg got
code.
lost in Disney World? That's how big it is.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since I was like 11. I really want to go back.
And oh man, we gotta do a group trip.
KFC, Kind of Funny Seattle, and Kind of NYC are doing a community trip to Walt Disney World next August or
Wow.
September.
I
Check
hate
out
both of those cities, though,
Kind
so
of
too bad.
NYC on Twitter for more details.
But anyway, it was awesome, and it was definitely a great kind of ease into the ridiculous adventures that we were about to have. And so many people online were like, "Tim, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this the first time." Like, "Oh, you're not going enough days. You're only going 3 days. There's no way you're gonna do everything." Joke's on y'all, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you got
did
played.
everything. And again, like I said earlier in the show, open to close, baby, man. We were there,
God.
hitting it hard. I was so tired, Nick. I was so tired.
Like you're so
Committed.
Because the Tim that I know versus the Disneyland Tim have very different traits.
Oh my God,
Tim that
yeah.
I know works real hard during the week, but fuck you if you try to get him to not sleep in on the weekends. Like how fucking
They call him
dare you?
Cocoon Man.
They do call him the Cocoon. They call him the Steve Burton Gutenberg Cocoon Man. But like when it comes to Disneyland, you are like, it's planned, it's organized. I remember when I went with you guys one time, you were like, no, fast pass. Usually it's like fast pass this, fast pass that. I'm like, whoa, I don't understand how much energy goes into this shit. And then when I said, hey, how many days were you at Disney World? I was joking. I thought it was 1 day. And you were like, it was 3, dude. And you were like, what are you out of your fucking mind? And I was like, no, I am out of my mind. That was a dumb question.
It's world. I mean, you can't I would have done nothing if it was just one day.
I totally. I mean, again, my context for Disney World is Disneyland, where after a day I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to go back here. But I forget that Disney World is like 8 times the size.
It is ridiculous. But we managed to do it all because of my boy Andrew McLean. That's right, Nick. His last name is McLean.
Naturally.
All right.
Yeah.
He's the better Andy.
So here's the thing.
He is. Oh my God, he is
a best friend that we met last year at Comic-Con. He went to the meet and greet we did for the Rocket League.
He's the guy that plays Thor, or the guy that plays.
So he's cosplaying as Thor,
right?
When he met us, he plays Star-Lord in the Disney World shows.
Still or used to?
Still.
Cool.
Yeah. He went to school for a bit. He's now back as of next week doing the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live, where he is Star-Lord doing the whole damn thing. He's also he's Kristoff in a lot of the Frozen shows. Like the Disney World like holiday special that's like on TV and stuff. Like he is that Kristoff.
Nice.
And he's been Tarzan before. He's been a bunch of different characters. But it was so cool doing Disney World. Like, I mean, like you just said, like, oh, Tim, you know all the fast passes and stuff. I don't. I just know of them.
Right.
Usually James Burke knows that shit. We have Disneyland on lock. Dude, bro. Got you,
Gotta
bro.
get the fucking fast track, bro.
Every time you go with him, it's like, bro, you got to get the max fast pass, and it's like, last time you won me over.
Bruh. So Disney World, whole entirely different beast, but we got to do it with someone that is on the inside.
Yeah.
With all of the hookups.
So fucking badass.
It is so fucking cool. And here's the thing, like I want to start this off the right way. Like, thank you, Andrew, for the hookups. Thank you for everything. More importantly, thank you for being a cool enough dude, proving that the best friend thing is real. Think about this, Nick. I just said that I went 3 days, but 2 days with him, back to back, 8 a.m. to midnight.
And he works there.
And he was with us, was happy to be there, wanted to do the whole thing, and none of us got sick of each other. And it was me, him, and James Burke. I get sick of James Burke talking to him in one conversation.
I'm done. I don't even want to talk to James Burke ever again.
Over the weekend, we literally spent over 24 hours together, awake. Like, think about that. Isn't that insane?
No, that's awesome.
So
he looks like he would be a lot like Cameron Cuff.
He totally is.
Personality-wise.
Such a nice guy.
But also, I just think like they're both super good looking. So,
Dude,
maybe that's what I'm
so
doing,
that is the next point I want to bring up. Here's the thing. We're going around Disney World with someone on the inside who has friends everywhere, connected with everyone. Who like every 5 seconds he's
Did
like
you go to
saying
any
hi to
tunnels?
someone saying it.
It's like John Wick. Like
that's-
every time you walk by, they're like, "Oh, he's got a bounty on him." You know,
yeah.
it's one of those.
So
things.
we're dealing with all this stuff. He like has the perfect days planned out, so we get to do everything.
Perfect
all the shows,
jawline,
all the
too.
stuff. Like we got VIP, like front row access to like all of the shows. And then we got to do the meet and greet stuff later. Like I got to meet like Timon and shit. It was awesome. Like,
God damn, James Burke got so lucky having you as a friend.
I know. It was so dope though. But here's the thing: on top of everyone knowing him because he works there, so he knows a lot of people that work there. He is okay. When you are a Disney person, of which most people, not most people, a lot of people are. All right,
Sure.
Like when you're an annual pass holder at Disneyland, right? You'll see the shows. It gets to a point where you're like, you watch the show, you're like, that's not good Star-Lord. Like that's the other Star-Lord.
Understudy.
And then there's a good Star-Lord. We're like, oh, we got good Pocahontas, we got good whatever. He gave me the whole rundown on like how that all works. And like, I'm not gonna get into all this stuff, but it's
Trade
like
secrets, be
it's
careful.
cool where he is what they have as the media Star-Lord. So for Disney World and the eastern side of America, for the Disney parks and any Disney situation, he is Star-Lord. All the Star-Lords that they hire are modeled after him.
Nice.
They're
cool.
like based after him. Any commercial that Star-Lord's in for Disney, it's him. Any marketing material, brochures, anything, it's him as Star-Lord. I'm like, that's fucking rad. So because of that, he's good Star-Lord. To the point that at one of the meet and greets in Vancouver, I met the best friend that works at Disney World, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going with one of the Star-Lords. Oh, I hope it's good Star-Lord. And I showed the pictures like, it's good Star-Lord. And I'm like,
That's cool as
this
shit.
is insane. So because of that,
Sucks to
he
be
was
shit Star-Lord.
Yeah, what the fuck?
he was a celebrity at Disney World in the way that like we don't get fucking noticed anywhere. But if we go to E3, we get stopped every 5 seconds. Yeah. It's the same thing where everybody knew who he was. But then on top of that,
like even fans.
yeah,
Like, or-
attendees,
that's right.
attendees that are
Wow.
like that are in the shit.
That's cool.
Are stoked to see him. So we're getting like all these hookups, all this stuff from everybody. And then there's one more layer. So not only does he work there, not only is he the celebrity guy of Star-Lord, he's also one of the most attractive human beings that I have ever fucking met in my life.
Now,
And-
I remember I met him at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
and he looked so much like Chris Hemsworth that I just sort of looked at it. I turned to him. I was like, I'm just gonna start treating you like you're Chris Hemsworth now. And I geeked out about that.
Because you add that extra thing of when you're attractive, you get anything you want.
He's beautiful.
And my God, it was amazing. Now, Nick, I have a story just for you.
Was it about, is it about his arms? Because I noticed that he was wearing like one of those like tank tops the entire time.
Yeah, you got to do it, man. So we go to get lunch at the Navi Pandora station or whatever the hell.
Naturally, as one does.
And as we're eating,
the better avatar.
This couple runs up, and this girl is shaking to meet him. Freaking the fuck out.
Sounds right.
And she goes, hey, excuse me, you guys. I'm sorry to be rude. Oh, first off, he's wearing that outfit, right? The tank top showing them guns off. Has a cap on and sunglasses.
Yeah. He can't be seen.
AKA.
The Avengers undercover.
The MCU undercover disguise. She goes, excuse me. Are you Chris Hemsworth?
No shit.
Nick, can you imagine?
I've just been like, yes.
Can you imagine being so good looking that someone walks up to you shaking, thinking you're Chris Hemsworth?
Well, if you remember one of the Photoshop challenges KFA of, I thought I was Jason Momoa.
You did.
So
you already lived that life. You lived that life.
So Kev, can you bring up? I asked him to do two Instagrams. Bring up the Andrew McLean one.
You're a fucking moron.
I know. I really am.
He's like, oh, I thought they just Photoshop Jason Momoa's tattoos on my arms.
The other one.
Damn it.
The other one.
Fuck you,
not this
bro.
one?
Yeah, that's
You
like
said
his
Andrew McLean.
workout one.
Joey just
No, I didn't. I said
Joey just
the Andrew
giggled.
McLean.
It's right there. It's right there.
Sorry.
It's in the info.
Hold on. I already. Fuck. Where'd it go?
Right.
Yeah, see what I mean?
There it
See what I
is,
mean?
Poochie.
Yes.
There it is, Poochie.
So, there you
guys are.
Look at us next to that.
It's crazy
Adonis.
because he wears
God,
right
he
there,
does look like Chris
right
Hemsworth.
there looks like Chris
Right?
Hemsworth, but when he puts the wig on, he has a little Pratt to him, which is nice. Like if you go over to him as Star-Lord,
I don't know. It's a wig.
is that his hair?
I don't know.
He's given
It
the Chris
might be.
Pratt look right there.
But anyways, so scroll down a bit more. Like, yeah, look at him. Like, he is freaking Star-Lord.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Crazy.
That's insane, dude.
I would never get married.
Go through something like, look, he's Christoph down there.
Is that Panama? Who drew that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so he does a whole bunch of the stuff.
He looks like Chris Hemsworth right there.
That's
Oh my God, it's like the small eyes too. Like he has oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it was ridiculous. And on top of that, the coolest guy ever. Like I could not believe how much, like he listens to everything that we do.
You think he's gonna hear this?
Loves KFAF. What's up?
He's got good taste.
Joking, don't worry.
Especially
Great
the
taste.
internet. Yeah.
Oh, that's his, so that's him as the in the Frozen stuff.
Yeah, so he's Christoph down there. Left, up.
Kevin just
there we
wanted to
go.
get to the jacked part. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, Kev.
But anyway,
That's so fun.
so
What a fun
dope,
life.
so dope. And if you look at his Instagram, you can see him as Tarzan and as a couple other stuff too, which
That's
is
cool.
just insane. But he also has another Instagram
Does
because
he
he also does
sing?
personal training stuff. So for the Awesome Mix thing, it's a lot more dancing and
Okay.
stuff. He doesn't sing. But yeah, let's just look at
Oh,
this.
that is an actual picture of Chris Hemsworth down there. I was like, he looks so much like him, but that's an actual Chris Hemsworth.
But yeah.
Like he could legit be
Jesus.
a bodied up or a stunt double for him. Jesus Christ, bro. Do you even work out?
Jesus.
All right, I'm getting a little.
What are you
Turn
getting?
the, turn the camera off. Turn it off. Literally, Joey saw this picture and she giggled.
Those pectorals are
Well, I
insane.
remember
He's
the
got good
pictures that
upside.
you sent of him as Thor during
That he was doing
Comic-Con.
cosplay
Yeah.
for.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, if you go to his Instagram, the Andrew McLean, you can see. If you scroll back far enough, you see him doing a bunch of different cosplay, including Thor, where he met us, and it's cool stuff.
Did you see
Yeah,
my
him
reply
as
to
Thor
your
Ragnarok
tweet?
was awesome.
The what?
Did you see my reply to your tweet?
I don't remember.
You're like, yeah, I met Andrew McLean. He like posted a photo of him. I was like, man, reminds me a lot of me, guys. Like in that Star-Lord, just almost as tall. You know what I mean?
So is Disney World better than Disneyland?
So I was saying this earlier on some show. It might have been Games Daily.
Don't fucking walk this fence, dude. Don't sit on this fence.
There
Pick
is
a
no
side.
sitting on a fence.
Pick a side,
It's
coward.
I'm not saying it's better or worse. It is different, and it is a totally different experience. And here's exactly what I'm saying. It is Disneyland is the greatest hits album. This is 5 different albums that are full start to finish albums. Sure, there's going to be some deep cuts on those albums that are awesome.
lot of
that
filler.
you-
Steamboat
you're-
Willie World.
that you're not going to get
no.
on the greatest hits, right?
Did you go to the Hoop-Dee-Doo review? It's a real thing. Real thing at Disneyland or Disney World.
You
sorry.
can never tell with Greg. You're like,
Yeah.
did you just make that up? Did you just pull that out of your
I did
head?
not.
Did you go to
Fucked up.
Bibbidi Bobbidi World?
Was that a figure?
Did you get a ham steak at Zoo Zoo World?
No, but I feel like Disneyland is the greatest hits album. So yeah, it doesn't have a lot of the it doesn't have the full versions of every song and whatever. But it's like it is way more condensed, and I think just way more of an enjoyable one thing to do. Whereas Disney World, it's like if you're really into this shit, there's a lot to do, and there's a lot. It's way more spread out. Everything feels way more immersive and like focused on for what it is. Like Animal Kingdom, for example. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Everything is themed and set correctly. There's a real safari with real animals. I mean, that's fucking weird. But then Pandora, and you would have loved it. Like, it is just, you're transported to a different fucking world with flying mountains from Avatar. And at night, it all lights up that way. And there's just a ton of stuff. If you touch it, it reacts and like causes things to happen in the world. The rides were just insane. Flight of Passage is like the newest Disney ride that's been made.
Like 5 years old, maybe, at 4?
I don't even think it's that old. Like, I think it's like 3
Oh,
years
really?
old.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, but it's very fresh. And it is all the latest technologies all in one, where it's like a 3D ride where it's like kind of like soaring over the world, where there's just a giant screen. But you get on the thing and you kind of like are mounted like you're riding a motorcycle, but you're on one of the Banshees from Avatar, and it feels like it because you're on the giant screen and it's going down and you're dipping and flying. They put all the smells, they put the wind and all that stuff. But what's crazy about this is like it's a thrill ride more than soaring. It's just kind of like a vista. This looks pretty, and you get it. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're really doing it. There's a part where the dragon thing kind of lands to take a breath, and it just starts going. And you feel hot air and like it's pulsating between your legs. And it's like, it's insane where you're like, I'm on a fucking dragon right now.
That's awesome,
Like you believe it so much. And I was just like, man, this is the technology they're going to use for the Millennium Falcon ride and for the Star Wars stuff at Galaxy's Edge. And I'm like,
And they're getting the hotel.
We're both getting the hotel.
Oh, I thought California wasn't. I thought,
It is.
Oh, really?
Both are getting
Okay.
the hotel.
Got it.
Which is
What
insane.
is the hotel?
The Star Wars hotel.
Oh.
It's like a whole role playing thing where your whole stay, you're like doing a bunch of different stuff that affects your position in the Star Wars world. And
You have
people-
like
Bang Chewbacca.
You have like missions and stuff, and
Yes.
I will be playing the role of Chewbacca.
the windows are like LED screens, and they make it look like you're in space, like in a spaceport and
that's
stuff.
fucking
Yeah,
cool.
dude, it's like my dream come true, dude.
Well, you know what? Maybe
But-
maybe KFAF will send you there because we love
Honestly,
you.
for Star Wars, whatever Galaxy's Edge thing and this thing, every time I hear about it, I'm like, that sounds really cool. I'd go. We should just do a company trip where we
I
all
wanna
go
go
there.
so
We'll do
bad,
that in
dude.
4 years.
Yeah, I know, because it's
When
like
it's
sold
not-
out.
It's
for
going
us.
to be insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, even seeing Galaxy's Edge at Disney World being built and like you see it in the
When
the
is it open
distance. I don't remember.
It's not till later this year.
Got it.
But like I went to Toy Story Land for the first time. That's a new thing. That's hell on earth. Like they designed it in a way where there's not that many attractions there.
But it just looks cool.
Well, it looks
That's a good
amazing.
turn.
Like
That's a good turn.
around it is like a giant fence, so it's like Andy's backyard.
Oh,
so like
okay. Neat.
the walls is just a fence, and like the trees are bushes, and they look like bushes. It's really cool. And so everything you just feel like you're a toy. But there's only like 2 rides. One of them's Toy Story Mania, which we have at Disneyland, which is really cool. It's like the video game one where you shoot stuff. And the other's a Slinky Dog like roller coaster thing. But the reason it's hell on earth is because there's only 2 attractions there, and they have no inside buildings. So it's all outside.
Jesus,
There
in
is
the heat of
no
Florida.
shade.
Oh no.
It is just beating down on you, and you could totally tell they did it on purpose to like
Get you out faster.
to get people moving through because
Yeah.
it's a new thing.
That
I'm
sounds
sure there'll
terrible.
be shade in a couple years, but they're just like, nah, y'all can just do what you want.
Enjoy. Choke on it.
But yeah, man, I had such a great time, like doing all the different rides, seeing all the different shows. Like
That's
it
awesome.
was
It
was
still weirds me out
spectacular, man.
that Pandora's a part of Disney.
Yeah, I didn't know Avatar and Disney were that close.
Well, they weren't, but it's the same thing like when they did Star Tours
Fox.
back in the day, and it was way before then though. Like the Star Tours when they made the Star Wars stuff, that was in like the 80s.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah, that was a license deal.
and
for
that was a
them.
license deal. The license deal with Pandora
Makes sense.
Um,
Whenever
Now they
I
own
hear
it now,
people
right?
talk about
and now
the-
they own all of it.
When I would hear
Disney.
people talk about the Pandora ride, I always assumed it was like at Universal Studios or like a different.
Yeah,
Because I'd always hear back in the day, you know, like, oh, Universal Studios has like the cooler rides and Disney's kind of boring or whatever. Like, and that's when I went when I was in middle school, and it was cool shit because I don't really go to theme parks or whatever. But I always wanted to go to Universal because they had Spider-Man and they had
Back to the Future.
Yeah, they had all
Terminator
that cool
2.
shit. Yeah.
So Pandora is like, it's not just a ride; it's a whole land to itself.
This plane.
And it has 2 different rides.
Yeah.
If
You
not,
want me
more.
to?
There's some little kid
You
stuff I
gotta-
don't really count.
Yeah.
But that stuff was really rad. But there's a lot of weird licensing deals, like you're talking about, where Universal owns the rights to theme parks east of the Mississippi for a bunch of Marvel characters. So they can't have Spider-Man. They can't have
What a weird treaty.
Doctor Strange or Thor or whatever it is. So like they kind of just need to gobble up what they can use. It's just like the film rights and stuff.
Right.
So that's why we're getting Marvel Land in Disneyland, and they're not. So there's a bunch of crazy
Just let's
shit.
fast forward to that, man. I know.
Too many good things.
Because again, I'm somebody who like I don't frequent this stuff a lot, so
Fucking up, Andy.
I just don't know about it a whole lot. Yeah, so like going to Disneyland last year was the first time I'd ever been there, and then I haven't been to Disney World. I've been to Disney World once, and it was when I was like 11 or 12 in middle school. And I've just
Your brother DM'd me. He's trying to take the kids.
Oh, really?
to
Yeah,
World
yeah,
with us,
yeah.
yeah.
I think he was telling me that too. I just don't know exactly when he plans on doing that. But yeah, it just seems like it'd be such
You
a
should
blast.
go. You should go with him if that happens because
No, I can't. I think it's going to be like several weeks after I'm already gone for a week after RTX.
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like Disneyland can either be hell or if you go with the right people, can be like silly fun. And like last time I went with Tim and all those, I think we went
for,
during
like,
VidCon
2
for like 2
hours,
hours.
yeah.
Still a blast.
Yeah, it was
Me and
still
Kevin
great.
housed a couple churros and like we did the lightsaber thing, the Jedi, or not the lightsaber thing. It was like the Jedi. They play all the trailers and shit.
Path of the Jedi.
Is that what it was?
So dope.
That was a blast. And
Yeah.
again, like if I went with, if it was like me and my wife, we'd be miserable.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you go with the same people and you start seeing it like Tim, for all intents and purposes, and I don't mean this is offensive, but when you go to Disneyland, you are a child.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
and
I'll
like when
take
you
it.
go with someone who sees the world
Oh my
that
God.
way, it's so fucking fun.
So am I. Like even like experiencing that Cars ride. Like I got emotional thinking like this must be so awesome to be an 8-year-old experiencing this. This is magic.
I tweeted about this, but like seeing all little kids like enjoying it, that's super great. That's super fun. Good for them. I'm very fucking jealous. But all of the kids doing the Jedi Academy thing, and in Disneyland it's cool. Disney World, it was like a whole fucking thing. There's just a like fleet of these kids in
is
Jedi
that where that
robes.
video came from where the kid was
All
like,
those, they all come from that.
Kids started
But
fucking
the
people love this.
cooler thing than that is I saw probably, no joke, 20 to 30 girls between 5 and 10 in Rey costumes just
Dope.
everywhere.
That's awesome.
Stoked out of their minds seeing an AT-AT. And I'm just like, what a world we live in.
Yeah.
That, like, this is just like what they're growing up with and what they think is cool. The whole thing was awesome. And being with Andrew was so cool because there was so much detail and lineage and legacy and care put into all the stuff. And if you go, it's clear. We all have been to Disneyland or World. It's like you see stuff, you're like, you know how much production, how much resources go into it. But being with somebody that like really knows is so cool because we read the blogs and we know all the tricks of like, oh, if you're at Indiana Jones in Disneyland and you pull the thing down, it will cause spikes to come down. Like stuff like that, right? There's like all these like, it's kind of just like 19 things you didn't know about Disneyland.
Easter eggs.
But what's cool about them is when they play the different characters and stuff, they're in character. They can't break character. Like they are Star-Lord. They are whoever they are. And they have to answer in the ways that is canon to how they would act. And because of that, Disney like teaches them a whole bunch of different things to say, things not to say, ways to do things, but also teaches them about the areas they're in, a bunch of tricks that other people don't know. So the cool thing he was telling me is like, it kind of becomes a family and a community of a lot of people that work there, and you kind of just learn a bunch of shit about the different lands from other people. So he's like he didn't know about like the Rapunzel stuff because like he just didn't do anything there, but he knows people that worked in that area. So we're like on this random ass little bridge. It's like, it was just a walk bridge. No one would ever stop to think to take pictures or anything. And he was just like, hey, can you find Pascal, who's the little chameleon from Tangled? And I'm looking and I couldn't find it. And eventually he was like, you want me to show it? And I was like, yeah. And he points and there's just this little statue of him somewhere in the river. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy that they decided to just do that. He's like, there's 14 of them right here. Try to find him.
That's awesome.
And we just started looking and they're all over. And he's like, the cooler thing is
they're just blending in.
they're just like, they're chameleons. So it's
Yeah.
like, they're just these statues that are just there. They're not moving or anything. They're just there. And the cooler thing is like, and in typical Disney magic, Pascal's only one chameleon. So you're never going to see 2 of them in one eyesight.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's
if you
fucking
see him,
crazy.
he's there. He's not there. But then when you see him there, he's not there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like Schrodinger's
so
cat.
cool.
And it's like,
I don't like
that
this.
is so cool. So I just spent a weekend with that times 1,000 the entire time.
Yeah.
Like every little thing like had some story to it, some like crazy stuff. I love it, man. It was like so cool.
I had this sort of dumbest feeling when I and Rudio, best friend, he's got tickets to Galaxy's Edge. Like he was in there, and I think he's gonna be there whenever the fuck it opens.
It opens like this week.
Yeah, and I was super jealous because my initial thought was, fuck, I wish I can go the first day or the first week.
You don't want that.
Because
You don't want that.
yeah, but in my head I'm thinking, yeah, but I bet you it's like it's not going to be as cool a month from now. And I was like, no, of course it is. They give they care.
Yeah,
they care about this stuff. But for some reason, I'm thinking in my head, like shit'll be broken and like things will
She'll
whatever
always be broken.
Yeah,
That's the other Disney magic.
Yeah, the magic of
yeah.
Disney.
The cars right there. All
So
broken
much shit
too.
always goes wrong.
That is your episode of the Kind of Funny podcast for today, gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining it. Greg had to jump off. He has a call right now. And we want to go into our post show for our patrons out there. But if you're watching this, leave a comment. Let us know if you're not on the fence. Which one's better, Disneyland or Disney World? And if it's on the West Coast, it's probably the best coast. Don't be like Tim. Don't be on the fence. Make a decision. Make a G-darn decision. Of course, if you guys want to watch our pre and post show on this podcast and hear about, we're probably going to tell more Disney stories. I'm going to tell the story of the first time I ever went on the Indiana Jones ride, like the first year it opened, because it was really, really awesome.
Terrifying.
And that's how fucking old I am.
I love it.
If you guys want to hear that, go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny and back us at that tier. We love you very, very much. And if you're watching this for the first time or you're seeing this over on Rooster Teeth, hey, come over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, because we got a lot of great stuff and you want to see it right when it's fresh, when it's funky and fresh, even though we post it right at the same time on Rooster Teeth. Until next week, it has been our pleasure to serve you. All right, we're in the post show
Fresh in the post show, Nick. Mr. Yasmin has a question for you. Nick, did you hear about the Booty Man song?
Jesus, no. I'm sure I'll hear about it a year from now when someone's dancing about it.
Don't know
My God,
about
it was so
that.
embarrassing.
Dude, Nick, that's the funniest fucking thing.
I thought of you. I was like, I have
can't
to
wait
tell
for
Tim the
Gia to hear
story,
that.
and he is going to laugh at me because I'm old.
That's so funny.
Oh God, it was a fun night.
Yeah.
That bar's weird as fuck, by the way.
It is weird. It's
But
cool. I
liked
like it a lot.
It's a cool bar.
Now I'm really upset that I didn't take up your offer.
I told you to come.
I
You should
know.
have come. I invited Joe. I was like, we're going to this weird bar. Like, you should come out. It's gonna be fun. And she was like, I don't like you. Stop texting me. If I wasn't forced to work with
I've already
you.
gotten to my cozy PJs, and
That's
I
true.
wasn't putting pants back on.
To be fair, I stayed way later than I thought, but it was really fun.
Cameron Kennedy says, Tim, do you watch Defunct Land? I learned through that I'm one of the only people who've gotten to go on the original version of Expedition Everest. I do watch Defunct Land.
It's
It's an
good.
amazing YouTube channel.
What is
Nick.
Defunct Land?
It's a YouTube channel that does video essays and like deep breakdowns on rides that don't exist anymore.
Oh.
And it's not just Disneyland, but a lot of it is. But it'll just talk about like theme parks that used to be and now they're gone, and why they broke down, or like why they stopped doing
Defunct
whatever,
Land.
why
Got
things
it. That's
changed.
cool.
Really
The one
cool
on
stuff.
Action Park is really good, which is that Johnny Knoxville movie that they did of like this crazy water park that like people died at, and no one knows how
sounds right.
it ever got made.
No.
So wait, Indiana Jones.
So I remember the first time I went with my buddy Ryan and his parents, because his dad was. Actually, I think he still works for Disneyland Fire. His dad was his dad was like a fire captain in Glendale, and he moonlighted just on the Disneyland fire team, because they have a whole fire department at Disneyland. Like, they have a full support staff of emergency responders and stuff like that. And he was. I mean, we're still friends. I still go over there at Christmas every once in a while when I'm down there and they're in the same spot, because they were like my second family. But they took me on this ride, and I was like, this is so cool. It's the first time we're ever seeing this. And we got to the point where it's supposed to pick the three doors, and we went through one, and I was like, for the longest time, I was like, I only saw a third of the ride, because I didn't know that I thought it was 3 separate rides. I didn't know it just all led to the same ride. I was like, what are the other two like?
Yeah.
And finally my friend's like, no, dipshit, it's just the beginning. It's just the first part.
Well, dude, I mean, that's Disneyland does so much crazy shit where it's like they don't want you. They want you to think it's just one.
And they want you to come back and like, but I'll never forget, like, obviously the magic of Disneyland and them going like, hey, you're gonna wait in line for 3 hours. Let's make it fun. And so they had the projectors and all this stuff.
Man.
It's
like,
so cool.
I mean, the
was
funniest
like, this
thing
is
is
rad.
because Andrew hooks me up so much with stuff, we got to skip a lot of lines. And for Flight of Passage, the line goes up to 3 hours, literally, of a wait in the heat, and that sucks. And I'm happy we didn't have to do that. But we got to just cut to the front,
right?
And that was awesome. But it also meant we didn't get to see the queue. And like that kind of sucks. I YouTubed it later. I'm like, cool.
That's fair.
I'm good.
Yeah.
What do you mean the queue? What do you mean?
Like the line.
The line, how they production designed the line.
Oh yeah, like Guardians
talking
has
about
all
that.
that cool shit.
Yeah, it's
So
just fun.
cool. I love it.
It's just so fun. But like, yeah, I'll tell you, when we used to do I've told these stories before when I used to work at Downtown Disney, when it was like super rainy days, and the only people would be there would be tourists who had planned their trip, and so they had to go. It would be them, and then me and my buddy. We used to call him Eddie No-No, and we would both be just hammered.
Good old
and we would just
Eddie
go
No-No.
around and ride Space Mountain like over. And
Hell
over.
yeah!
It was so fucking
Dude,
fun.
I should have fucking told this on the show. I had the craziest Space Mountain experience where I've done Space Mountain
saw
many
you tweet
times.
about it.
For those that don't know, Space Mountain is in pitch black, and they just have like stars all over the place, and you just go through.
I don't
and
like the music.
You don't know where you're going. Well, here's the music changes every once in a while, and you either get the good shit or you get some fucking cheesy.
I got one that's like the
stuff.
Munzer.
I don't like that.
It's
I'm like,
weird.
I don't like the
hate that.
surfer
But the
weird
best
music.
is Hyperspace Mountain. Oh, Ghost Galaxy, it's fine. But Hyperspace Mountain, it's Star Wars music
Star Wars.
playing. And they have video walls of like
that's
TIE
tight.
fighters going by and like shooting the green lasers. It's so cool.
I swear to God, at some point, Space Mountain went from being a kid's ride to they were like, you know what? We can just double the speed of this
double it up
fucking
a
thing.
bit.
It was
Yeah.
intense.
So that's what in Disney World, that's what it is. And we're doing this ride, but it's all supposed to be pitch black. But there was another ride, this thing called the People Mover that fucking sucks. They do, yeah.
People
that kind
Mover.
of they just take you around Tomorrowland. And you just
Yeah, it's like elevated.
it's a grandma ride.
It's
Like,
basically what do they call those the things you go on up
Gondola?
mountains? A gondola. It's a gondola, right?
Yeah. But it goes inside different rides, kind of, so you can kind of see a little bit of the behind the scenes. But with Space Mountain, you don't ever get to see Space Mountain because it's just darkness inside. Like that would break the illusion. Because Space Mountain on the inside it's just a roller coaster.
It's terrifying.
That's not pretty because they make roller coasters look pretty. So if you look at them, you're like, oh, but like the idea is it's dark, so you never see it. So it's just this. It's like if you put metal in a blender.
Yeah.
But
It's
you're
terrifying.
going 35 miles per hour, and it feels like 100 miles per hour, and it's in the dark.
Yeah.
It's one of those things
problem
where they go, don't put your hands up in Space Mountain.
It's
But they
so
don't
cramped.
say that. Like they should though. And now that I've seen it, I'm never putting my hands up again on that ride because the People Mover thing broke down. So half the lights were on in Space Mountain. I've seen videos on YouTube of all the lights being on, and that's one thing. Like it's still like a weird experience. But you're like, all right, whatever. When half the lights are on, shadows are formed in a weird way. So you're in this mangled mesh of metal
Christ, that's
with shadows
terrifying.
all over the place. I'm like, we were scared shitless, man. It was like, this is horrifying.
Yeah.
And these little kids are just screaming.
Yeah.
Kev,
Yo.
can you YouTube Space Mountain lights on?
Sure.
I think
see,
I
Cameron
think I
Kennedy in
remember
the
one of
chat
those
says-
rides being like, "Fuck, I should put my hands down."
Yeah, I always put my hands out. Like Matterhorn's one of those where I'm like,
That's the one.
There's
like,
some
nah,
where you're like, whoa,
I'm good.
Yeah,
they
like, I'm
designed this
short
for
as
smaller
hell.
people.
Like I'm short and I'm scared of like.
Yeah, this
hitting
was
my head.
designed back in the 40s or 50s when people were just smaller.
Yeah.
Cameron Kennedy says, I think the lines are weirdly, in the chat here, says, I think the lines are weirdly some of the best part. In the Universal Harry Potter Forbidden Journey line is so good. Amazing production design.
It really is.
It's
I need to
really cool.
fucking go to Harry Potter Land. When are we going to this?
Whenever you want.
I'm gonna
always
dress
the
like
one that's trying
Hermione,
to
let's
push
go.
to go
Yeah,
to
we
these
made
things.
like a plan, and then when it came to like, all right, let's make it happen, a bunch of you guys pushed out.
God, we did piss
Do
out.
do the top one, and then without audio.
Joe, get in here. Oh, Greg's not coming back, by the way. You can sit here.
And I just skipped forward.
Oh, is he walking? Is he walking the fucking thing?
No.
Oh, yeah. This is terrifying.
Well, this is normal.
This is just this launch bay or whatever they call it, right?
Is
So-
he running it or is he on?
No,
He's got to be on the thing.
he's
I thought he was like running on the track. I was like, dude, you're baller. Look, yeah. See,
We'll wait till it gets down, like because
When it
that's
gets
when.
into
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of this
So, like,
shit.
Imagine being
Yeah,
on this.
I guess what you're
this.
saying.
All right, and you're only like everything has weird shadows, and it's not this bright.
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah, that's crazy.
It was so freaking scary, man.
So much metal. There's got to be like weird upkeep on all this shit, you know?
Because you have to be able to walk
Like,
off of
look at
every
this.
part
Are
of
you
it.
kidding me?
Fuck that, dude.
Oh yeah, this is really scary.
Oh,
It's
man.
so cool when it's happening, which is like pitch dark and there's just lights and shit coming
So
at you.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
rad.
Moving around.
Lasers.
What a great idea.
Guys, let's
God
go.
bless him. You want to go to Disneyland?
I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to Disney World. I want to go to Universal Studios. I'm
I
always
just
down
want to go to Universal
theme parks.
Studios. I want to get Josh McCougar to come with us, and let's go drink butterbeer and then drink real beer and then have fun.
Or you just sneak rum in to put into your bag.
Now here's the
All
thing
right, Joey.
with Disney World that gets the clear 100% advantage over Disneyland.
Drinking around the world.
Well, more than that, drinking at any park. Magic Kingdom's the only park you can't drink anywhere you want. But you can drink just in restaurants.
Yeah, which is
All
smart.
the other, I mean, no, because all the other parks don't give a fuck. You can drink anywhere.
It's smart
I love
only
it.
because
They give you shit.
I feel like it's a smart idea so people don't get hammered at Disneyland. You know,
You get hammered at all the other ones.
that's true.
Well,
Like,
I
Florida's
think it's
Florida's a lawless,
yeah.
lawless land. We all know this about our beautiful 50th state, Florida.
Yeah, that's
The 50th state.
Was it not? Was that Hawaii?
The reason it's not, you don't drink at
Alaska?
Disneyland is that's like one of the last standing like Walt Disney provisions.
Is that the thing? They'll move it out eventually.
I forgot to say that I. Oh, sorry.
They already have. Right now, the only place in Disneyland that you can drink is Club,
Club
33.
33.
And
And the restaurants, right? You can do like the Blue Bayou. You can't have a cocktail.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, Club 33 is the
DCA
only
you
place.
can.
And Disney California Adventure, you can.
That's right.
Soon, Galaxy's Edge, you can drink in Star Wars Land. There's like
Cantina.
a couple drinks at the cantina, but you can't take them out. What are you gonna say?
Totally unrelated. I forgot to mention that I another thing I watched over the weekend was the Last Watch documentary of Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it
how
yet.
was it?
I'm planning to watch.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
really
Thursday.
good. Some weird like music choices because they kind of will play music according to a certain. Like there's a moment where I think
Just the Macarena
I think
over and
David,
over again. It's fucking really
I
weird.
think David Nutter says that he wants to when he was a kid he wanted to be Barry Manilow, so they followed up with a Barry Manilow song. It's kind of weird, but
dare
they
you.
don't really focus on the stars at all. They focus on
Cast and
a
crew.
makeup artist.
A crew.
And her like journey through all of this. They focus on one of the executive producers,
The unsung heroes.
and how she's just like, what was I thinking? Like the thing is, we're not even through the hardest part of any of this, and this is a fucking nightmare. And then they go through one of the extras named Andy McLean or Andy
Nope.
something.
I was like, that's that dude's name.
no, wait, no.
It is.
Andrew
Dude, I
McLean.
think
is
it
that
actually
guy's-
is.
Is it
Hold on.
him?
Wow,
It's just him.
Star Lord and he was on
hold on,
Game.
hold on.
He was like, I also body double for Daenerys. I'm
tweeted
very,
about it.
very flexible.
Oh, it's funny. Andy McClay. No N.
McClay, got it.
He's one of the extras who's been one of the Stark extras throughout the whole time. And he's so jazzed. He reminds me of like the James Burke of this world where like he's so stoked and he like to the camera he'll talk about all the times that Kit Harington has talked to him and how excited he gets, you know? And he gave I guess the cast and crew gets like depending on
cool
what part
jackets.
if you're an extra for the Tullys, you have your own jacket. If you're
Sick.
if you're an extra for the Starks, you have like your the North Remembers jacket and they're super stoked about all of these things. And he was like, yeah, I gave one to Kit and he was really excited about it. And he was really and they show the interaction where he's wearing it. And he's like, oh, so you like the jacket? And he's like, oh, I love it. I love the jacket. And Kit's not mic'd, you know, like only he is, because they didn't focus on any of the stars. And he's like, well, I can get you one for season 8. I can get you a jacket for season 8. And he's like, oh my god, he's like, that'd be great. I love it. He's like, oh my god, it's the final day. I can't believe it. It's like the final day of filming. And then like Kit walks away or whatever, and they come back down. And he's like, oh, like it's so he's so fucking stoked to like just like talk to him or whatever.
That's so fun.
And they thought they were done filming, but then in the final episode, they have that final moment where it's Jon and the Starks, like the last of the Starks or whatever, and it's
At the tree?
No. It's a Grey Worm is about to execute, and Jon Snow's like, "Don't execute him." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when they had already taken King's Landing, and they're like, "Yeah, so we're the last sort of crew to be called back," and they're like, "Do you think you'll be on camera?" One of the interviewers, and he's like, "I don't know, maybe I think since it's such a small amount of people, it's possible, you know." But then they show him like in the scene like
It's just literally Kit Harington
well,
and him.
because Kit Harington pulls out his sword to be like, Grey Worm, don't fucking kill these people.
Right.
And then all the Lannisters pull out their weapons, and then so the Starks have to. So they show him, and like he's doing his serious face or whatever. It's so fucking cool to see like his enthusiasm about this, because all the cast and crew knows him, and they make it a point to be like, oh, you got to follow Andy McClay because he's great. He's so stoked just to be a part of
That's
all this.
awesome, man.
Could you
this whole-
imagine though if
That's awesome.
So
if
cool.
you, I mean, listen, we live a dream here.
Yeah.
At Kind of Funny. We get to change hearts, change minds,
Sure.
inspire people. We get paid to basically be giant man children and eat
Mm-hmm.
Pop-Tarts. But could you imagine though if like you got to be a part of something like that on that level? That's got to be really cool, especially as an actor. And you're like, that's your goal, is to be on something that's that important culturally. It must be really fun.
They follow the guy who makes the snow. Like,
I mean, to be honest with you, this documentary sounds a little like they missed the mark.
no, it's great. It's
Is it
great.
good?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing it from a different perspective. Like the guy who makes the snow, it's just tiny pieces of paper with water.
Random
And
thing I read.
That's how they spray down all of the Night's
just
Watch
confetti
and
with water.
Winterfell and all that stuff.
Sounds like a horrible cleanup.
And then they do mention, remember we were like,
Is it
doesn't
ash?
snow at King's at King's Landing. It was snow.
So, dude, the VP of HBO said it is 100% ash. It was not snowing in King's Landing.
So yeah, because they show the snow guy, and he's like, well, at the end of season 7, we see that, or season 6, or whatever, we see Jaime Lannister look up, and there's a snowflake.
Yeah.
He goes, so for this final season, this final shot where they end up judging Tyrion, yeah. He's like, I gotta just sprinkle a little bit because it snowed here, but like most of it's gone, but I just gotta sprinkle a little tiny bit.
Well, that makes sense because they were all still in
now.
the winter clothing. Like they all still had the big coats on, but it just looks like it was fucking
Sunny,
800 degrees.
It's weird, yeah.
It's like
so
when your friend
they
commits to
mentioned
the
that.
coat look. You know, he just won't take it off, and you're like, just take it off.
It was
part of the
weird.
look.
It was
Form
interesting.
over function or whatever.
And what else happened? They go through the table read. Like they show a lot of the table read for the final season.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
I had read an article about how Conleth, the guy who plays Varys, was not happy with Varys dying, and in the way that he died. And like they are reading through, and they have cameras sort of showing the actors, and Conleth's reading his lines, and Daenerys is sitting like 2 seats away. It's Conleth, it's Lena Headey, I forgot to pronounce her name.
Lena.
And then it's Emilia Clarke. And Emilia Clarke's like, do you understand why I'm doing this? And he's like, yes, my queen, or whatever. And she's like, all right, I sentence you to death. And like, he goes, yes, I do. And then you could tell he reads the next line of I sentence you to death. And he just has the papers and he just closes them. And he just sits back and
yeah,
like
it was bullshit.
And Lena Headey's like kind of looking at him like, oh, like this is not. He's not happy with this, and he just sits back and is like pissed off. But they go through all the moments of like,
I saw
Daenerys and all that stuff, and it shows like Jon Snow's like reading, and they go through the Arya part where she gets the Night King, and it's so cool to see like everybody's reading it, and then and they're like, and Arya. The guy reading all the production notes, he's like, and Arya, out of nowhere, jumps out, gets caught by the Night King, sticks him with the sword, and the Night King and everybody's like, yeah, fuck yeah, like all of the actors in there, the guy who plays the Hound is just like, fuck yeah, like everybody's so stoked. It's really cool, dude.
Yeah, I saw
It's really
someone
cool.
pulled a clip from it was going around Twitter where Daenerys and Jon. It was when they got to the point where he had to kill her.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Kit Harington's like actually crying.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty intense.
Yeah,
it's pretty intense.
That sounds really cool.
He had a really good his final day on set. Like he, I guess it's DB Weiss like standing with him, and he's like, "We saw you audition when you were 12 years old.
Wow, really?
And we're here now." And you've been like, thank you for being a great Jon Snow, but thank you also for just being a great person to work with. And he starts to give his speech, and he's like tearing up, and he can barely talk. And they like show Andy McClay's eyes, the extra like tearing up, and he's like,
was Jon Snow like, hey, I know something now. I know something, Jon Snow. He didn't say that. Okay, well, I gave it a shot.
But they, at the very end of the end credits of the documentary, they show that you can go on a tour with Andy McClay, and he's the tour guide.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
oh my gosh!
And he is so enthusiastic. Like,
wait, really?
They show him, and he's like, yeah, there's a special scene where so and so is walking by, and look at that, freeze frame, that's my face right there, I'm in that shot. And he's like, here's the thing, it wasn't even cold that day, but we're actors, that's what we do. Like, he's so great, dude. The guy who played the Stark extra.
Oh wow,
he
that's
runs
awesome.
the tour where
That's
you can
so
go
funny.
tour all these other spots.
That's really cool.
It's really cool.
Real quick, I want to say
great.
you talk about how he makes the snow. I was like trying to get shit prepped for Internet Explorers this week, and something that I don't think we're gonna do was like 17 Hollywood secrets or some shit. And one of the secrets was in Wizard of Oz, the snowstorm scene.
I read this, yeah.
And like there was a bunch of other movies. They're just like, anytime there was snow in black and white movies, it was straight up asbestos.
Great.
Like that was
Smart.
it.
Oh my
That
God.
was snow.
That's why everyone died of cancer.
Yeah, they were talking. I think like a bunch of Steve McQueen movies
Yeah,
had
Steve
it
McQueen
too.
was straight up. He was just like,
Yeah.
that's what killed me. Well,
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah.
killing me.
Step with that, and I think he was like a pack a day smoker.
You know
too,
what? He can.
But he was so
Steve
cool.
McQueen is fucking cool.
So cool.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around for this post show. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
A lot of people call you the better Greg.
Yeah, exactly, Chloe. That's what. Yeah, they did say 12 years old. I'm sure it was an exaggeration because obviously he would have been like 18 or
No,
19.
it's possible that he auditioned when he was
10 years
12,
ago?
and then they started shooting 2 to 3 years later when he was like started the show when he was 15. How old is he right now?
Kid Harington is now like I think 30.
That
Okay, Google.
that math does not add up at all. Never mind. Forget.
How
it.
old is Kid Harington?
Every time you do that, people
Fuck you.
literally every time he does that, someone in the comments is like, "You fucked me up so bad."
He's 32.
Okay, yeah.
So he
So
would have been
definitely
like
not 12.
23.
20 years ago.
He would have been like 23.
Yeah, that's not right at all. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen out there, thank you so much for being awesome and supporting us on Patreon. We love you very, very much. This is sad news. A lot of people were saying Kit Harington checked into a treatment facility for personal issues. I guess maybe he had a little bit of substance abuse problem there. Wish him the best. He's awesome, and hopefully he gets through it. Until next
I could
time,
be
everyone,
him.
we will see you next week. We love you. Bye-bye.
I ate nuts with Jon Snow once.
Really?
I call God party.
Didn't you pee next?